Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and lush meadows, lived a kind-hearted boy named Finn. Finn had a special gift: he could talk to animals. His days were spent helping his animal friends, from calming a frightened squirrel to guiding lost birds back to their nests. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Finn heard a soft, sorrowful cry coming from the forest. Guided by the sound, he followed a narrow, winding path until he reached a moonlit glade where a large, golden owl perched on a low branch, looking distressed. "Please, help me," the owl said in a voice that was both gentle and wise. "I am Oliver, the guardian of this forest. A terrible curse has been placed upon our land by a spiteful sorceress. The magic that protects our forest is fading, and if it vanishes completely, all the creatures will lose their home." Finn's heart ached at the thought of his animal friends losing their home. "What can I do to help?" he asked. Oliver's eyes shone with hope. "The only way to break the curse is to retrieve the Heartstone of the forest, which lies hidden in the Cave of Echoes. But beware, the cave is guarded by the sorceress's enchanted beasts. Only someone with a pure heart and brave spirit can succeed." Finn nodded resolutely. "I'll find the Heartstone." The owl guided Finn to the entrance of the Cave of Echoes. As Finn stepped inside, he was met with a labyrinth of twisting tunnels. The walls glowed faintly with bioluminescent moss, and the air was filled with eerie whispers. Finn took a deep breath and began his journey, determined to overcome any challenge. As he ventured deeper into the cave, Finn encountered three magical beasts: a grumpy stone lion, a mischievous shadow fox, and a solemn water serpent. Each guardian posed a riddle that Finn needed to solve in order to proceed. The stone lion roared, "What has keys but cannot open locks?" Finn thought carefully and answered, "A piano." Impressed, the lion stepped aside, allowing Finn to continue. Next, the shadow fox asked, "What can you catch but not throw?" Finn smiled, "A cold." With a flicker of approval, the fox vanished into the shadows. Finally, the water serpent slithered forward and asked, "What gets wetter the more it dries?" Finn answered confidently, "A towel." With a graceful nod, the serpent parted the way to the inner chamber of the cave. There, resting on a pedestal bathed in a soft, ethereal light, was the Heartstone of the forest. It was a radiant gem that pulsed with the heartbeat of the forest itself. Finn carefully picked up the Heartstone, feeling its warmth spread through his hands. As he turned to leave, the cave began to tremble, and the entrance was blocked by a swirling, dark mist. The sorceress herself appeared, her eyes flashing with malice. "You think you can take the Heartstone and undo my work?" she sneered. Finn stood tall and said, "I believe in the magic of this forest and in the power of kindness and courage. You cannot keep its heart hidden forever." The sorceress was taken aback by Finn's bravery and pure spirit. With a haughty laugh, she vanished into the mist, which cleared as she disappeared. Finn made his way back to the glade with the Heartstone. As he approached, the forest began to glow with renewed vibrancy. The trees sparkled with fresh leaves, and the animals emerged, their spirits lifted. Oliver the owl fluttered down and perched on Finn's shoulder. "You have saved our home, brave Finn. The forest will forever be grateful." The Heartstone was placed back in its rightful place, and the enchantment was restored. Finn was celebrated as a hero by all the creatures of the forest, and from that day on, he continued to help and protect his friends with even more dedication. And so, Finn lived happily, knowing that he had not only found courage within himself but also had safeguarded the magical world he loved so dearly. Once upon a time, in a land where magic and wonder were as common as the stars in the sky, there was a small village nestled between rolling hills and a shimmering lake. The villagers lived simple, joyful lives, but they had one great wish: they wanted to reach the stars. In this village lived a curious and inventive young girl named Alara. She loved looking up at the night sky, dreaming of what it would be like to touch the stars. Every evening, she would sit by her window, gazing at the twinkling lights, wishing she could find a way to bring a star down to earth. One day, while exploring the edge of the forest near the village, Alara stumbled upon an old, dusty lantern half buried in the ground. It was covered in vines and dirt, but it had a beautiful, star-shaped design etched into its metal surface. Intrigued, she cleaned it off and carried it home. That night, as Alara sat by her window with the lantern, she noticed something peculiar. When she opened the lantern, a soft, golden light began to glow from within, casting shimmering stars on the walls of her room. The light seemed to dance and twirl, creating constellations that sparkled like real stars. Excited, Alara showed the lantern to the villagers. They were amazed and gathered around to see the magical light. The village elder, a wise old woman named Mira, said, "This lantern must be very special." Legends say that such lanterns were once used to communicate with the stars. Alara, feeling a sense of adventure, decided to take the lantern to the highest hill in the village and see if it could really reach the stars. With the lantern in hand, she climbed the hill as night fell. The stars began to shine brightly, and the lantern's light grew stronger. As Alara held the lantern up to the sky, something magical happened. The light from the lantern began to rise and twinkle, merging with the stars above. Alara gasped in amazement as she saw a brilliant streak of light, like a shooting star, streaking across the sky. Then, to her wonder, a small, glowing figure appeared beside her. It was a tiny star fairy, no bigger than her hand. "Hello, Alara," the star fairy said in a voice like the tinkling of bells. "I am Stella, guardian of the stars. Your lantern has called me here. You have a pure heart, and you wished with great sincerity. We can grant you a special wish." Alara's eyes widened with excitement. "I wish to bring the stars closer to the village, so everyone can see their beauty every night." Stella smiled and waved her tiny wand. The lantern's light brightened, and the stars in the sky seemed to twinkle even more brightly. "Your wish is granted," Stella said. "From now on, every night, the stars will shine brighter and more beautifully for all to see." The next morning, the villagers were amazed to see the night sky more dazzling than ever before. The stars sparkled with colors they had never seen, creating a magnificent display that filled their hearts with joy. Alara became a hero in her village, and the lantern was placed in the village square for everyone to admire. From that day on, the villagers gathered each evening to enjoy the spectacular starry sky, and Alara's lantern became a symbol of hope and wonder. The village thrived, always grateful for the night sky's gift, and Alara continued to dream, always believing in the magic of the stars. And so, the stars shone brightly above the village, reminding everyone that sometimes, even the smallest wishes can light up the world in the most magical ways. The end. Once upon a time, in a dense and magical forest, there lived a tiny firefly named Flicker. Flicker was the smallest of all the fireflies, with a light that was barely brighter than a candle's flame. Despite her small size, Flicker had the biggest dreams. She wanted to light up the entire forest, just like the moon did every night. But whenever she shared her dream with the other fireflies, they would laugh and say, "Flicker, you're too small. You'll never be able to light up the whole forest. Just stay here and light up your little corner." Flicker tried to believe them, but deep down, she couldn't give up on her dream. She wanted to be more than just a tiny light in the corner of the forest, she wanted to make a difference. One night, Flicker decided to go on a journey to find someone who could help her make her dream come true. She flew through the forest, her little light flickering bravely as she passed tall trees and quiet streams. Eventually, she came to the oldest and wisest tree in the forest, a giant oak that had stood for centuries. The giant oak had seen many things in its long life and was known for giving advice to the creatures of the forest. Flicker landed on one of its thick branches and looked up at the towering tree. "Great oak," Flicker began, her tiny voice trembling with hope, "I want to light up the entire forest. But everyone says I'm too small. Is there any way I can make my dream come true?" The giant oak rustled its leaves gently, as if thinking carefully. "Little Flicker," the oak said in a deep, soothing voice, "your light may be small, but it is unique and special. However, to light up the entire forest, you cannot do it alone. You must find others who share your dream." Flicker thought about the oak's words. "But how can I find others who want to help me?" No one seems to believe in my dream." The giant oak swayed its branches, and a few leaves floated down, glistening in the moonlight. "There is magic in unity, little firefly. If you can inspire others with your dream, they will join you. Start by sharing your light and your dream with those around you. You may be surprised by how many will follow." Encouraged by the oak's wisdom, Flicker thanked the tree and flew back into the forest. She decided to start with the creatures who were often overlooked, just like her. First, she visited the tiny spiders who spun their webs in the corners of the forest. The spiders were shy and didn't often speak to others, but Flicker bravely approached them. "Hello, spiders," Flicker said softly. "I have a dream to light up the entire forest. I know my light is small, but if we all work together, we can create something beautiful. Will you help me?" The spiders looked at one another, surprised that someone was speaking to them so kindly. They admired Flicker's determination and agreed to help. "We can spin threads of silk to reflect your light," the spiders said. "Together, we can make your light shine even brighter." Next, Flicker flew to the quiet pond where the frogs lived. The frogs were known for their songs, but they rarely ventured out of the water at night. Flicker landed on a lily pad and spoke to them. "Hello, frogs," Flicker said with a smile. "I want to light up the entire forest. I know it's a big dream, but with your voices, we can call others to join us. Will you help me?" The frogs croaked thoughtfully and then nodded. "We'll sing our loudest songs to spread the word. With your light and our voices, we'll gather the forest creatures." With the help of the spiders and the frogs, Flicker's light began to grow. The spiders wove intricate webs that caught and reflected Flicker's glow, making it sparkle like 1,000 tiny stars. The frogs sang their loudest songs, calling out to the creatures of the forest to come and see the light. One by one, the other animals began to gather. The rabbits, mice, and squirrels, who were usually timid and stayed hidden at night, came out to see what was happening. The birds, who often slept in the treetops, woke up and flew down to join the gathering. Flicker, now surrounded by the creatures of the forest, felt her light growing stronger. She was no longer alone, her dream had inspired others, and together, they were creating something truly magical. The animals, each in their own way, added to the growing light. The rabbits found shiny stones to place around the forest, reflecting Flicker's glow even further. The squirrels collected dewdrops from the leaves, which sparkled like diamonds in the light. The birds flapped their wings gently, creating a breeze that made the light dance through the trees. As more and more creatures joined in, the entire forest began to glow with a warm, golden light. It was a light unlike any the forest had ever seen before, soft yet brilliant, gentle yet powerful. The light reached every corner of the forest, illuminating even the darkest shadows. Flicker looked around in amazement. She had never imagined that her small light could grow into something so magnificent. The forest was alive with light and joy, and all the creatures were united in a common goal. The giant oak, watching from its ancient perch, smiled at the sight. The wisdom of its age had proven true once again. The greatest magic comes from unity and the belief in one's dreams. From that night on, the forest creatures came together regularly to create the magical light. And Flicker, the little firefly with the big dream, was no longer known as the smallest of all the fireflies. She was known as the firefly with the heart of 1,000 stars. And so, the forest was never dark again, for Flicker's light, along with the light of her friends, shone brightly and beautifully, reminding everyone that even the smallest light can make the biggest difference when shared with others. The end. In a quaint village nestled between emerald hills and sparkling rivers, there was a curious grove known as the Hidden Grove. The villagers whispered tales of its beauty and mystery, but no one ventured too far into the grove, for it was said to be enchanted. At the edge of the village lived a young girl named Ilara. Ilara was known for her adventurous spirit and kind heart. She was fascinated by the stories of the Hidden Grove and dreamed of discovering its secrets. Her grandmother had told her about a magical moonlit mirror hidden deep within the grove, said to have the power to grant one true wish to those pure of heart. The moonlit wish one evening, as the full moon rose high in the sky, Alara decided it was time to uncover the truth behind the tales. She gathered a small satchel with essentials, her trusty lantern, a warm cloak, and a few snacks, and set off toward the hidden grove. The grove was even more enchanting than Alara had imagined. Moonlight filtered through the dense canopy, creating a silvery glow on the forest floor. The trees seemed to whisper softly, guiding her deeper into the grove. As she ventured further, Alara came across a series of glowing stones arranged in a circle. The stones seemed to hum with a gentle magic, and Alara felt a sense of anticipation. She followed the circle of stones until she reached a small clearing bathed in moonlight. The enchanted mirror in the center of the clearing stood the moonlit mirror, a tall, ornate mirror framed in shimmering silver. The surface of the mirror was covered in a soft, radiant light, reflecting the moon's glow. Alara approached the mirror with awe and trepidation. She gently touched the mirror's surface, and a soft, melodic voice echoed from within. To reveal the magic within, one must speak their truest wish. Alara took a deep breath and spoke from her heart. I wish for my village to always be happy and safe, and for everyone to have their dreams come true. The mirror's surface rippled like water, and a beautiful scene began to unfold. It showed the village, vibrant and flourishing. The villagers were laughing, dancing, and enjoying a grand celebration under a starlit sky. Alara's heart swelled with joy at the sight of her beloved village thriving. The guardian of the mirror, as the vision faded, a shimmering figure appeared beside the mirror. It was the guardian of the mirror, a graceful being with wings that sparkled like stardust. The guardian smiled warmly at Alara. Your wish is noble and true, the guardian said. The magic of the moonlit mirror will help your village. But remember, true magic comes from the hearts of those who care and work together. Alara nodded, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. Thank you. I promise we will cherish and nurture the magic. The guardian touched the mirror, and it began to glow brighter. Then go with my blessing. The mirror's magic will guide you. The returned Alara made her way back to the village, her heart full of hope and excitement. As she arrived, she found the villagers already gathered, noticing the change in the air. They were eager to hear about her adventure. Alara told them about the moonlit mirror and its magic. Inspired by her story, the villagers came together, each sharing their own hopes and dreams for the community. They worked hard to strengthen their bonds and create a haven of happiness. The village transformed in the following weeks. The village flourished like never before. Gardens bloomed with vibrant flowers, the fields yielded abundant crops, and the river sparkled with life. The villagers celebrated their newfound prosperity with joy and gratitude, knowing that their unity and kindness had helped make their dreams come true. Alara continued to explore and share her adventures, always carrying with her the lessons of the moonlit mirror. The village thrived as a beacon of happiness, and the tale of the moonlit mirror became a cherished story passed down through generations. And so, the hidden grove and its magical mirror remained a symbol of hope and unity, reminding everyone that true magic lies in the kindness and dreams of those who believe in it. Once upon a time, in a serene kingdom bordered by silver mountains and emerald meadows, there was a hidden village named Luminera. Luminera was known for its beautiful orchards that produced the most delicious fruit in all the land. However, one orchard stood out above the rest, the Moonlit Orchard, a magical place where fruit glowed under the moonlight. The Moonlit Orchard was tended by an elderly gardener named Old Mervyn. He was a kind soul who had taken care of the orchard for as long as anyone could remember. It was said that the orchard was enchanted by the moon spirit, a mystical being who blessed the land with its radiance. The fruit from this orchard was not only delicious but also carried a bit of magic that brought joy and healing to those who tasted it. One year, however, the kingdom fell under a shadow of misfortune. A mysterious drought struck the land, causing crops to wither and rivers to dry up. The once lush orchards began to suffer, including the Moonlit Orchard. Old Mervyn, with a heavy heart, noticed that even the magical fruit no longer glowed with its usual brilliance. Desperate to save the orchard and his beloved village, Old Mervyn sought the counsel of a wise old owl named Ilarion who lived in the tallest tree of the forest. Ilarion revealed that the moon spirit, who had always blessed the orchard, had gone into a deep slumber due to the imbalance in the land's magic. To awaken the moon spirit and restore the orchard's magic, someone with a pure heart must venture to the moonlit pool, a hidden glade deep within the forest where the moon spirit once bathed. There, they must perform a ritual to restore harmony and balance. Old Mervyn knew he was too old to undertake such a journey, so he turned to his granddaughter, a brave and kind-hearted girl named Luna. Luna loved the orchard dearly and was determined to help. With a small satchel of provisions and a heart full of hope, Luna set off on her quest. She followed Ilarion's directions through the forest, navigating by the light of the moon. The forest was both enchanting and daunting, with trees that seemed to whisper and paths that shifted like dreams. As Luna ventured deeper, she encountered 3 challenges that tested her resolve. 1. The enchanted mist. A thick mist swirled around her, making it hard to see and follow the path. She remembered her grandmother's stories about using her heart to guide her. Luna closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and let her heart guide her through the mist, emerging on the other side. 2. The riddle of the guardian. At the entrance to the moonlit pool, Luna faced a stone guardian who spoke in riddles. I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I? Luna thought for a moment and answered, a story. The guardian smiled and allowed her to pass. 3. The heart of the grove. To reach the moonlit pool, Luna had to cross a grove where the trees were enchanted to test her spirit. They asked her to demonstrate an act of kindness. Luna saw a small, injured fox and tended to its wounds with the herb she carried. The trees, moved by her compassion, parted to reveal the glade. Finally, Luna arrived at the moonlit pool. The pool was a tranquil, shimmering basin reflecting the moon's light. Luna approached it with reverence and gently placed a glowing silver fruit from the moonlit orchard into the water. She closed her eyes and whispered a heartfelt plea for the moon spirit to awaken and restore balance. The water began to sparkle, and a soft, radiant light emerged. The moon spirit, a graceful figure with a gown of moonbeams and eyes like twinkling stars, appeared from the pool. The moon spirit had been awakened by Luna's genuine wish and selfless act. Brave child, said the moon spirit, you have restored the harmony and balance. The orchard's magic will return, and so will the prosperity to your land. The moon spirit's light spread through the forest and the village. The drought ended, and the orchards began to flourish once more. The moonlit orchard glowed with renewed brilliance, and the fruit was more magical than ever. Luna returned to Luminera as a hero. The villagers celebrated her bravery and the restoration of their land. The moonlit orchard became a symbol of hope and renewal, and the village thrived under the light of the moon and the blessings of the moon spirit. And so, in the kingdom where magic and nature were intertwined, Luna and the people of Luminera lived happily ever after, forever guided by the gentle light of the moonlit orchard. Once upon a time, in a kingdom where misty mountains met tranquil lakes, there was a quaint village called Evermere. The village was known for its colorful tapestries, woven with magical threads that could bring dreams to life. These tapestries were crafted by the Weaver of Dreams, a mysterious figure whose identity was known to none. In Evermere, there lived a young girl named Lila. Lila had a special gift. She could see the dreams of others and weave them into intricate patterns, though she was still learning how to master her craft. She often sat by the edge of the village, under the ancient willow tree, dreaming of one day meeting the legendary Weaver of Dreams. One evening, as the sun set and the sky turned to shades of violet and gold, Lila saw a particularly strange dream drifting through the air. It was a dream of a great storm that threatened to flood the entire kingdom. The dream was so vivid and troubling that Lila decided to follow it, hoping to understand its meaning and find a way to prevent the disaster. She followed the dream through the forest until she reached a hidden glen bathed in moonlight. In the center of the glen stood a magnificent loom, adorned with shimmering threads and glowing with an otherworldly light. Behind the loom was a cloaked figure with eyes like stars. This was the Weaver of Dreams. The weaver turned and looked at Lila with a warm, knowing smile. "I've been expecting you," the weaver said, her voice like the rustling of leaves. "You followed the dream. Lila's eyes widened in awe. "You're the weaver of dreams." "The dream I saw was of a terrible storm." "What does it mean?" The weaver nodded solemnly. "This dream is a warning. A great storm is indeed coming, and if nothing is done, it will flood our kingdom and bring ruin." Lila felt a pang of fear but quickly resolved to help. "What can I do to stop it?" The weaver of dreams extended a hand, and a golden thread appeared. "This thread is woven from the essence of hope and courage. It can be used to craft a tapestry that will guide the storm away from Evermere. But you must complete it before the storm arrives." Lila took the golden thread and began to weave. Her fingers moved swiftly and skillfully, guided by the weaver's gentle instructions. She wove a tapestry that depicted a serene landscape, filled with mountains, forests, and lakes, all bathed in warm sunlight. As she worked, the dream of the storm seemed to grow more intense, the winds picking up and the clouds darkening the sky. But Lila's determination never wavered. She wove with all her heart, pouring her hope and courage into every stitch. Finally, as the first drops of rain began to fall, Lila finished the tapestry. She and the weaver placed it on the loom, and with a wave of the weaver's hand, the tapestry floated up into the sky. It unfurled like a brilliant banner, glowing with a warm, golden light. The storm, which had been approaching with great fury, saw the tapestry and began to change course. The clouds parted, and the rain turned into a gentle drizzle. The storm, guided by the tapestry's magic, drifted away from the kingdom, leaving Evermere untouched. The village awoke the next morning to clear skies and a renewed sense of peace. The villagers gathered around Lila and the weaver of dreams, who had appeared in the village square to witness the miracle. "You have saved us," the villagers said, their voices filled with gratitude. "The storm was a great threat, but your bravery and skill have protected us." The weaver of dreams looked at Lila with pride. "It was not just the tapestry that saved the kingdom, but your heart and courage. You have proven yourself a true weaver of dreams." Lila beamed with happiness. "Thank you for your guidance. I'll continue to use my gift to help others and keep our dreams safe." And so, the kingdom of Evermere thrived under clear skies and gentle rains. Lila's tapestry became a symbol of hope and protection, and she continued to weave dreams with skill and compassion. The legend of the young girl who saved the kingdom and the mysterious weaver of dreams became a cherished tale, reminding all that even in the face of great challenges, hope and courage could weave a brighter future. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there was a beautiful forest called the Enchanted Forest. The forest was filled with tall, ancient trees, sparkling streams, and colorful flowers. It was a place of magic, where animals could talk, and fairies lived among the trees. In this forest lived a little squirrel named Sammy. Sammy was small but very brave. He loved to explore the forest, climb the tallest trees, and find the best acorns. Sammy had many friends, including Benny the bunny, Tina the turtle, and Luna the fairy. One sunny day, as Sammy was gathering acorns, he heard a soft cry coming from the bushes. He quickly scampered over and found a tiny bird named Chirpy, who had hurt its wing and couldn't fly. "Oh no, Chirpy." "What happened?" asked Sammy. "I was trying to fly high and see the whole forest, but I hurt my wing," Chirpy replied sadly. "Don't worry, Chirpy. I'll take you to Luna. She knows how to heal wings," said Sammy. Sammy gently picked up Chirpy and hurried to Luna's home, which was a beautiful flower house hidden in a big oak tree. Luna was a kind fairy with sparkling wings and a warm smile. "Luna, can you help Chirpy?" "He hurt his wing," Sammy asked. Luna looked at Chirpy's wing and smiled. "Of course, I can help. But we need a special healing flower that grows in the deepest part of the forest." Sammy's eyes widened. The deepest part of the forest was known to be mysterious and a little scary, but Sammy was determined to help his friend. "I'll go get the flower," said Sammy bravely. Luna gave Sammy a little map and a tiny pouch of fairy dust for protection. Sammy set off on his adventure, feeling a mix of excitement and a bit of fear. As Sammy ventured deeper into the forest, he saw many amazing sights. He crossed a sparkling blue stream, where he met a friendly frog who showed him the way. He walked through a meadow of colorful flowers, where butterflies danced around him. Finally, Sammy reached the deepest part of the forest. The trees were tall and dark, and it was very quiet. Sammy took a deep breath and followed the map. He soon found the special healing flower, glowing softly in the shade of a big tree. Just as Sammy picked the flower, a loud growl echoed through the forest. A big, shadowy figure emerged from the trees. It was a giant bear, looking very grumpy. "Who dares to take my flower?" the bear growled. Sammy was scared but stood tall. "I'm Sammy, and I need this flower to help my friend Chirpy." The bear looked at Sammy for a moment and then sighed. "I see. I used to be a kind bear, but I became grumpy because I was lonely. No one ever visited me here." Sammy felt sorry for the bear. "I'm sorry you're lonely. Maybe you can come back with me and meet my friends. We would love to have you." The bear's eyes softened. "You would do that for me?" "Of course," said Sammy. "Everyone deserves friends." The bear smiled and agreed to come with Sammy. Together, they walked back to Luna's house. Luna healed Chirpy's wing with the special flower, and Chirpy was soon flying happily again. Sammy introduced the bear to all his friends, and they welcomed him warmly. The bear, whose name was Bruno, became a beloved member of the forest community. He was no longer lonely and grumpy but happy and kind. From that day on, Sammy, Chirpy, Luna, and all their friends, including Bruno, lived happily in the enchanted forest. They went on many adventures together and always helped each other, knowing that true friendship was the greatest magic of all. And so, the enchanted forest remained a place of wonder and joy, where everyone, big or small, was welcome. The end. Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom surrounded by lush forests and sparkling lakes, there was a legend about an enchanted compass. This compass was said to point not just towards north but towards one's heart's true desire. It had the power to guide its holder to their deepest wish, but only if they were pure of heart and true in their quest. In this kingdom lived a brave and kind-hearted boy named Finn. Finn was known throughout the land for his adventurous spirit and his desire to help others. Recently, his village had fallen on hard times, with crops failing and the once joyous river running dry. Finn believed that finding the enchanted compass could bring prosperity back to his home. One bright morning, with the sun shining and the birds singing, Finn decided to set off on a quest to find the enchanted compass and restore his village's fortune. The first challenge, the Whispering Glade. Finn's journey began in the Whispering Glade, a mystical clearing in the forest where the trees were said to communicate through gentle rustling sounds. As he ventured into the glade, he encountered a wise old tortoise with a shell that seemed to sparkle with tiny stars. To proceed through the Whispering Glade, the tortoise said in a slow, deliberate voice, "You must solve this riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Finn pondered the riddle and answered, "An echo." The tortoise's eyes twinkled with approval, and it slowly turned to reveal a hidden path. "Follow this path to continue your journey," the tortoise advised. The second challenge, the Enchanted River. Finn followed the path and soon arrived at the Enchanted River, a shimmering river with waters that sparkled with a rainbow of colors. The river was guarded by a graceful water sprite with translucent wings and a serene smile. To cross the enchanted river, the sprite said with a musical voice, "You must answer this question: what can travel around the world while staying in a corner?" Finn thought carefully and replied, "A stamp." The water sprite's eyes lit up with delight, and with a graceful wave of her hand, she created a bridge of glowing stones across the river. Finn crossed the bridge, feeling more determined with each step. The third challenge, the Cave of Reflections. On the other side of the river, Finn discovered the entrance to the Cave of Reflections, a grand cavern with walls that mirrored the light in mesmerizing patterns. At the entrance of the cave was a large, ornate door covered in intricate patterns of stars and moons. A gentle, echoing voice came from within the cave. To unlock this door and find the enchanted compass, you must reveal your true heart. Share your deepest wish and prove that you seek it with sincerity. Finn took a deep breath and spoke earnestly. My deepest wish is to find the enchanted compass and use its power to restore prosperity and joy to my village. I want to help my people and bring back the happiness that we have lost. The cave's walls began to glow with a warm, golden light, and the ancient door slowly creaked open, revealing a chamber bathed in a soft, ethereal light. In the center of the chamber, on a pedestal of shimmering crystal, rested the enchanted compass. The revelation, the compass's gift. With the enchanted compass in his hands, Finn felt a surge of hope and determination. The compass's needle spun and then pointed towards a distant, hidden location. Finn followed the direction indicated by the compass and soon found himself at the edge of his village. As he held the compass high, its magic began to awaken. A brilliant light emanated from the compass, spreading across the land. The once dry river flowed with sparkling, clear water, and the fields turned lush and green, filled with vibrant crops and blooming flowers. The villagers gathered in awe, watching as their land transformed before their eyes. They celebrated Finn's bravery and the magic of the enchanted compass, grateful for the return of their prosperity and happiness. The tale of Finn's quest and the enchanted compass became a cherished story in the kingdom. A reminder of the power of a pure heart and the magic that can be found in even the simplest of things. Under the restored beauty of the land and the magic of the enchanted compass, the village thrived once more, forever grateful for the boy who had brought their dreams to life. Once upon a time, in the heart of a misty forest, there was a quaint village named Luminera. The village was known for its vibrant gardens and shimmering streams, but it had one unique treasure, a magical lantern that was said to light the way for anyone who was lost or in need. The lantern was housed in the village's oldest cottage, which belonged to an elderly woman named Grandma Esme. She was known throughout the land for her kindness and wisdom. The lantern was a family heirloom, passed down through generations, and its soft, golden glow was believed to have the power to reveal hidden truths and guide people through their darkest hours. One day, the village was visited by a young prince named Leo from the neighboring kingdom of Eldoria. He had heard tales of the enchanted lantern and was intrigued by its magic. The prince was on a quest to find a rare and precious flower known as the moon blossom, which only bloomed once every 100 years under the light of the full moon. The moon blossom had the power to cure his kingdom's ailing land. Grandma Esme welcomed Prince Leo warmly and listened to his tale. The moon blossom is indeed a rare flower, she said, and its blooming is a sight to behold. However, finding it requires more than just luck. It requires a heart that is pure and intentions that are true. The prince, determined to help his kingdom, asked Grandma Esme if she would lend him the enchanted lantern to aid in his quest. She agreed, but only if Leo promised to return it once his mission was complete, for the lantern held great significance to her family. With the lantern in hand, Prince Leo set out into the forest under the light of the full moon. The lantern's warm glow guided his path through the tangled woods and winding streams. As he ventured deeper, he encountered various challenges: swift rivers, steep cliffs, and dense thickets. Yet, the lantern's light always found a way to show him the safest path forward. During his journey, Leo came across a small, mysterious creature, a talking fox named Finn. Finn had a coat of shimmering silver and eyes that sparkled with curiosity. "Why are you traveling so far into the forest?" Finn asked. "I am searching for the moon blossom," Prince Leo explained. "It is said to bloom only under the full moon, and I need it to save my kingdom." Finn's eyes widened with understanding. "I know where the moon blossom blooms, but it's a dangerous path. The lantern's light will help you, but you must also have a brave heart and a clear mind." Grateful for Finn's help, Leo followed him through the forest. The two of them faced many trials, from crossing rickety bridges to outsmarting mischievous sprites. With the lantern's guidance and Finn's assistance, they finally reached a secluded glade bathed in moonlight. In the center of the glade was a majestic flower, the moon blossom. Its petals glowed with an ethereal light, and its fragrance filled the air with a sense of peace and hope. Prince Leo carefully collected the moon blossom and thanked Finn for his guidance. As he turned to leave, he noticed that the lantern's light was growing dim. The enchantment that had guided him was fading, and the path back seemed uncertain. Leo realized that he needed to return the lantern to Grandma Esme, as promised. With the moon blossom secured, Leo made his way back to the village. The journey was still challenging, but the memories of his adventure and his commitment to his kingdom's welfare kept him steady. Upon returning the lantern to Grandma Esme, he presented her with the moon blossom. "You have fulfilled your promise," Grandma Esme said, smiling. "And you have shown great courage and purity of heart. The lantern will continue to guide those in need, and the moon blossom will heal your kingdom." Prince Leo returned to Eldoria, where the moon blossom was used to restore the land to its former glory. His kingdom thrived once more, and he was celebrated as a hero. He often thought fondly of the enchanted lantern in the village of Luminera, where his journey had begun. The lantern remained in Grandma Esme's cottage, its light still shining brightly for those who sought guidance. The story of Prince Leo and the enchanted lantern became a beloved legend in Luminera, reminding everyone of the power of bravery, kindness, and the magic of a guiding light. And so, the village of Luminera continued to glow with the light of hope and adventure, ever ready to illuminate the path for those who ventured into the forest in search of their own dreams. The end. Once upon a time, in a realm where rolling hills met the edge of a starlit sky, there was a forgotten kingdom known as Astrolina. The kingdom had once been a place of great wonder and joy, but as time passed, its brilliance faded into obscurity. The only thing that remained was a single, twinkling star in the night sky, said to be the last remnant of Astrolina's magic. In the nearby village of Lumina lived a young girl named Ilara. Ilara was known for her boundless curiosity and her love for the night sky. Every evening, she would gaze at the stars and dream of adventure. Her favorite star was the twinkling one that seemed to shimmer more brightly than the rest. Little did she know, it was the last magical star of Astrolina. One evening, as Ilara was stargazing, she noticed something unusual. The star seemed to flicker and grow dim. Concerned, she decided to seek out the source of the star's fading light. She packed a small bag with essentials and set off towards the edge of the forest, where the star's light seemed to guide her. As Ilara ventured deeper into the forest, she came across a hidden path lined with glowing blue flowers. The path seemed to pulse with a gentle, magical energy. Following the trail, Ilara reached a mystical glade where an ancient, enchanted gate stood. The gate was adorned with intricate carvings of stars and moons, and a soft, golden light seeped through the cracks. Ilara approached the gate, feeling a mix of excitement and trepidation. As she touched the gate, it slowly creaked open, revealing a hidden realm bathed in the glow of starlight. The air was filled with a sweet, celestial melody, and the landscape was dotted with glowing crystals and shimmering lakes. In the center of the realm stood a grand, silver palace with towers that reached towards the heavens. Ilara made her way to the palace, where she was greeted by an elegant figure in a flowing robe. It was the Queen of Astrolina, a radiant being whose presence seemed to light up the entire realm. "Welcome, brave traveler," the Queen said with a warm smile. "I have been waiting for someone who could help restore the magic of our kingdom. Our star has begun to fade because the magic that once sustained it has been lost." Ilara listened intently as the Queen explained that Astrolina had fallen into darkness when its magical heart, the Star of Astrolina, was stolen long ago. The kingdom had become forgotten, and the star's light was now the only thing keeping the magic alive. If the star were to fade completely, the kingdom would be lost forever. Determined to help, Ilara asked the Queen how she could restore the star's light. The Queen handed her a small, crystal vial filled with shimmering stardust. To restore the star's light, you must find the 3 lost pieces of the magical heart scattered across the realm. Each piece is hidden in a place of great significance, where courage, wisdom, and kindness are tested. Ilara accepted the vial and set off on her quest. Her first challenge took her to a deep, dark cave where she faced her fear of the unknown. By showing courage, she discovered the first piece of the magical heart hidden within a rock. The second piece was located in a serene, ancient library filled with glowing books. To find it, Elara had to solve a riddle that required wisdom. By deciphering the riddle, she retrieved the second piece from a hidden compartment within a book. For the final piece, Elara journeyed to a tranquil, enchanted meadow where she encountered a creature in distress, a wounded unicorn. By showing kindness and helping the unicorn heal, she found the last piece of the magical heart nestled in a bed of flowers. With all 3 pieces of the magical heart collected, Elara returned to the palace. The queen welcomed her with joy and took the pieces to the grand crystal in the center of the palace. As the queen placed the pieces into the crystal, the stardust from Elara's veil began to swirl and merge with the crystal's light. The star outside the palace grew brighter and more vibrant. And the kingdom of Astrolina began to sparkle with renewed magic. The once forgotten realm was restored to its former glory, with its beauty and enchantment returned. Elara was celebrated as a hero, and the queen thanked her for her bravery, wisdom, and kindness. The kingdom rejoiced, and the star of Astrolina shone brightly once more, becoming a beacon of hope and wonder for all who gazed upon it. Elara returned to her village with a heart full of joy and a story to tell. The legend of the Star of Astrolina and the brave girl who restored its magic became a cherished tale, inspiring others to believe in the power of courage, wisdom, and kindness. And so, the kingdom of Astrolina continued to shine brightly in the night sky, a reminder of the magic that can be restored through the pure-hearted actions of one determined individual. The end. Once upon a time, in a land far beyond the great mountain ranges and shimmering seas, there was a hidden kingdom known as Evermist. This mystical realm was enveloped in perpetual fog that sparkled like silver in the moonlight, and its inhabitants were gentle, magical creatures who lived in harmony. The kingdom was ruled by a wise and kind-hearted queen named Seraphina, who possessed a magical amulet that kept the fog enchanted and the kingdom peaceful. In Evermist, there was a young girl named Eloan, who had always dreamed of exploring the world beyond the fog. She was known for her insatiable curiosity and her kind spirit. Eloan often wandered through the misty woods, talking to the enchanted creatures and listening to their stories. Despite her happiness in Evermist, she longed to see what lay beyond the fog and to learn about the world outside. One day, while exploring the deepest part of the misty forest, Eloan stumbled upon an old, forgotten path that led to a hidden cave. Inside the cave, she found a dusty, ancient book bound in silver threads. The book's cover was adorned with intricate designs of stars and moons. With trembling hands, Eloan opened the book and discovered that it was a magical diary, its pages filled with stories of lands beyond the mist and tales of a world full of wonders. The final entry in the diary spoke of a hidden realm, known as the Realm of Twilight, which was said to hold the key to dispelling the fog of Evermist and revealing the world beyond. The entry hinted that the key was hidden in a place called the Celestial Garden, where the most precious and rarest of flowers bloomed under the light of the full moon. Eloan knew that finding the Celestial Garden and the key could be the adventure she had always dreamed of. She decided to embark on a journey to find it, hoping to uncover the secrets of the world beyond the fog. With a heart full of determination, Eloan set off on her quest. She followed the directions from the diary, which led her through enchanted forests, across shimmering lakes, and over mist-covered hills. Along her journey, she encountered magical beings, a wise old owl who gave her a map, a mischievous sprite who gifted her a lantern that never went out, and a gentle unicorn who guided her through the darkest parts of the forest. Finally, as the full moon rose high in the sky, Eloan reached the Celestial Garden. The garden was a breathtaking sight. Flowers of every color and shape glowed under the moonlight, their petals sparkling like stars. In the center of the garden stood a majestic fountain with water that shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow. Eloan approached the fountain and saw a single, magnificent flower with petals of pure silver. At the base of the flower, nestled among the roots, was a small, ornate box. With great care, Eloan opened the box and found the key, a beautifully crafted, golden key with intricate designs that matched those in the diary. As Eloan held the key, she felt a sense of fulfillment and joy. She knew that this key could unlock the secrets of Evermist and reveal the world beyond. With the key in hand, she began her journey back to the kingdom. When Eloan returned to Evermist, the kingdom was shrouded in its usual fog, but she felt a new sense of purpose. She took the golden key to Queen Seraphina and explained her journey and the discovery she had made. The queen listened intently and, with a gentle smile, took the key and placed it into a hidden slot on the magical amulet she wore. As the key turned, the amulet glowed brightly, and the fog began to lift. The kingdom of Evermist slowly revealed its surroundings: lush valleys, towering mountains, and distant seas. The fog that had once kept the kingdom isolated now became a shimmering veil that connected Evermist to the world beyond. The inhabitants of Evermist marveled at the beauty that lay outside their kingdom. The creatures from the realm of Twilight were invited to join them, and the kingdom became a place of unity and wonder. Eloan's bravery and curiosity had not only fulfilled her own dreams but had also brought new opportunities and friendships to her people. Queen Seraphina praised Eloan for her courage and wisdom. The tale of Eloan's journey and the discovery of the Celestial Garden became a cherished legend in Evermist, inspiring future generations to explore, dream, and seek the magic that lay beyond the familiar. And so, Evermist thrived, no longer shrouded in fog but embracing the beauty and possibilities of the world beyond. Eloan continued to explore and learn, her heart always open to new adventures and the wonders that life had to offer. Once upon a time, in a hidden valley surrounded by misty mountains, there lay a small village where the moonlight shimmered with a magical glow. In this village lived a kind-hearted girl named Lila, who loved exploring the woods and listening to the songs of the forest creatures. One evening, while wandering through the moonlit forest, Lila stumbled upon a peculiar lantern half buried under a blanket of fallen leaves. It was an old brass lantern with intricate designs, its glass panels sparkling as if they were catching the light of 1,000 stars. Curious, Lila picked it up, and as she did, the lantern began to glow warmly. A gentle, melodic voice emanated from the lantern. "Thank you for finding me. I am Lumina, the guardian of lost dreams. For many years, I've been waiting for someone pure of heart to help me." Lila was amazed. "A guardian of lost dreams? How can I help?" Lumina explained that she had been trapped in the lantern by an envious sorcerer who wanted to steal the dreams she protected. To break the enchantment, Lila had to embark on a quest to restore the lantern's magical power by retrieving 3 sacred gems: the Ruby of Courage, the Sapphire of Wisdom, and the Emerald of Kindness. Determined to help Lumina, Lila set off on her quest. Her first destination was the Cave of Echoes, where the Ruby of Courage was hidden. The cave was dark and filled with the echoes of the past. Inside, Lila found a fierce dragon guarding a shimmering ruby. Instead of using force, Lila approached the dragon with kindness and spoke to it about her quest and her desire to help. Moved by her bravery and sincerity, the dragon agreed to give her the Ruby of Courage. Next, Lila journeyed to the Mountain of Wisdom. She climbed the steep slopes and reached a secluded temple where the Sapphire of Wisdom was kept. The wise old guardian of the temple tested Lila's knowledge with riddles and challenges. Lila answered each question with thoughtful answers, and the guardian, impressed by her wisdom, handed her the sapphire. Her final destination was the Glade of Kindness, a beautiful meadow where the Emerald of Kindness was said to be hidden. In the glade, Lila found a magical tree whose branches were heavy with glowing emeralds. The tree spoke to her and explained that to receive the emerald, she must show true kindness to someone in need. As Lila wandered through the meadow, she came across a young, lost fawn. It was trembling and hungry. Lila gently cared for the fawn, sharing the food she had brought with her and guiding it back to its family. The fawn's mother, grateful for Lila's kindness, gave her the Emerald of Kindness. With all 3 gems in hand, Lila returned to the lantern. Lumina's voice filled the air with joy as Lila placed the gems into their rightful places on the lantern. The lantern's glow grew brighter and brighter, filling the forest with a warm, enchanting light. As the spell was broken, Lumina emerged from the lantern in a swirl of stardust and shimmering light. She thanked Lila for her bravery and kindness. "You have restored my magic and helped me return to my duty of guiding lost dreams." Lila smiled. "I'm glad I could help. What will happen to the lantern now?" Lumina looked at Lila with gratitude. The lantern will remain here as a beacon of hope and dreams. And whenever you need guidance or wish to dream, just look into its light, and it will guide you. From that day on, the enchanted lantern was a source of inspiration and comfort for the villagers. Lila continued to explore the forest and listen to its songs, knowing that the lantern's light would always be there to guide her. And so, the magic of the lantern and the bravery of a kind-hearted girl became a cherished story passed down through the generations, a reminder that even the smallest act of kindness could illuminate the darkest of places. The end. The Starlit Tree. Once upon a time, in a hidden corner of the world, there was a magical forest known as Eldergrove. Eldergrove was a place of wonder, where ancient trees whispered secrets, and the air sparkled with enchantment. At the heart of this forest stood the Starlit Tree, a colossal tree whose branches touched the heavens and whose leaves glowed with the light of 1,000 stars. The Starlit Tree was said to be the source of all the magic in Eldergrove. It was guarded by a gentle elf named Leora, who had lived for centuries and had watched over the tree with great care. Leora was known for her wisdom and kindness, and she took her duties very seriously. The disappearing magic. One autumn evening, as the first frost began to touch the leaves, Leora noticed something troubling. The light of the Starlit Tree was fading. The once vibrant glow of the leaves had dimmed, and a sense of unease hung in the air. Leora knew that if the tree's light vanished completely, Eldergrove would fall into darkness and the magic of the forest would be lost. Determined to save the tree, Leora began to search for the cause of the fading light. She discovered an old, forgotten prophecy that spoke of a hidden shadow that would threaten the Starlit Tree when a great imbalance was about to occur. The quest begins. To restore the light of the Starlit Tree, Leora needed to find the source of the imbalance and restore harmony. The prophecy mentioned an ancient artifact known as the Moonstone Crown, which was said to have the power to balance the forces of light and shadow. The Moonstone Crown had been lost for centuries, but the prophecy hinted at its location, hidden deep within the forbidden cavern at the edge of the forest. Leora knew she could not undertake this journey alone. She sought the help of 3 companions, a brave fox named Finn, a wise owl named Orin, and a cheerful squirrel named Pip. The Forbidden Cavern. The journey to the Forbidden Cavern was fraught with challenges. The forest was filled with magical creatures and tricky illusions that tested their courage and teamwork. Finn's sharp senses guided them through hidden paths, Orin's wisdom helped them solve ancient riddles, and Pip's nimble agility allowed them to navigate obstacles with ease. After days of traveling, they reached the entrance of the Forbidden Cavern. The cavern was dark and mysterious, with walls that seemed to shimmer with an eerie glow. The air was thick with ancient magic, and the cavern's depths seemed to echo with forgotten secrets. The Moonstone Crown. As they ventured deeper into the cavern, they encountered a series of trials. The first trial was a maze of twisting passages that seemed to shift and change. With Orin's guidance, they navigated through the maze and reached the second trial, a pool of shimmering, enchanted water that revealed hidden truths. Pip bravely dived into the pool and discovered a hidden chamber beneath the water. Inside the chamber, on a pedestal bathed in a soft, moonlit glow, was the Moonstone Crown. The crown was a stunning piece of jewelry, adorned with shimmering moonstones and intricate patterns of starlight. Restoring balance with the Moonstone Crown in hand, Leora and her companions made their way back to the Starlit Tree. They placed the crown on the tree's pedestal, and its magic began to intertwine with the tree's fading light. The light of the Starlit Tree grew brighter and more vibrant, filling Eldergrove with renewed energy and enchantment. The shadow that had threatened the tree dissipated, and the balance of light and shadow was restored. The forest once again flourished with magic, and the creatures of Eldergrove rejoiced. A new beginning. Leora thanked her brave companions for their help and returned to her duties as the guardian of the Starlit Tree. The tree's light continued to shine brightly, and the magic of Eldergrove was stronger than ever. The tale of Leora and her companions became a cherished story in Eldergrove, a reminder of the importance of courage, wisdom, and friendship. The Moonstone Crown was placed in a special place at the heart of the forest, a symbol of the balance between light and shadow and the enduring magic of the Starlit Tree. And so, Eldergrove thrived under the watchful glow of the Starlit Tree, forever guided by the bravery and unity of those who had restored its light. Once upon a time, in a charming village nestled at the edge of a vast, mystical forest, there was a legend of a magical artifact known as the Starlight Compass. It was said that this compass could guide its holder to their heart's deepest desire and restore balance to their world. For years, the compass had been lost, and the village had fallen into a period of gloom and uncertainty. In the heart of this village lived a young woman named Maris. Maris was known for her kindness and bravery, always helping others in need. One day, the village elder, who had grown frail and wise with age, revealed to Maris that the village's only hope lay in finding the Starlight Compass. The elder explained that the compass had been hidden away in the enchanted forest, guarded by magical creatures and challenging trials. Determined to help her village, Maris set out on a quest to find the Starlight Compass and restore hope to her people. The first challenge, the Whispering Glade. Maris began her journey in the Whispering Glade, a serene meadow where the flowers seemed to whisper secrets of the forest. In the center of the glade stood a great oak tree with a face carved into its trunk. The tree's eyes sparkled with a kind, ancient light. To proceed through the Whispering Glade, the tree said in a voice like rustling leaves, "You must solve this riddle. I have keys but open no locks. I have space but no room. You can enter but not go outside." What am I? Maris pondered the riddle and answered, "A piano." The oak tree's branches swayed in approval, and it parted its boughs to reveal a hidden path leading deeper into the forest. Follow this path to reach the next challenge, the tree instructed. The second challenge, the River of Reflections. Maris followed the path and soon arrived at the River of Reflections, a crystal-clear river that mirrored the sky and surrounding trees perfectly. The river was guarded by a shimmering water sprite who danced gracefully on the water's surface. To cross the River of Reflections, the sprite said with a twinkle in her eyes, "You must answer this question. What can travel around the world while staying in a corner?" Maris thought carefully and replied, "A stamp." The water sprite smiled and conjured a bridge of sparkling water lilies across the river. Maris crossed the river, feeling a surge of hope as she neared her goal. The third challenge, the Cavern of Echoes. On the other side of the river, Maris found herself at the entrance of the Cavern of Echoes, a grand cave with walls that seemed to hum with a soft, resonant melody. At the entrance stood an ancient stone door engraved with celestial symbols. A voice echoed from within the cavern, "To unlock this door and find the Starlight Compass, you must reveal your true heart. Share your deepest wish and prove that you seek it with sincerity." Maris took a deep breath and spoke with honesty, "My deepest wish is to find the Starlight Compass and bring its guidance back to my village. I want to restore hope and bring balance to our lives." The cavern's walls began to glow with a warm, golden light, and the ancient door slowly creaked open, revealing a magnificent chamber. In the center of the chamber rested the Starlight Compass, its needle glowing with a soft, ethereal light. The revelation, restoring the village. With the Starlight Compass in her possession, Maris returned to her village. As she held the compass aloft, its light spread out in a gentle, warm glow that enveloped the village. The crops began to grow again, the rivers flowed with crystal-clear water, and a sense of joy and harmony was restored. The villagers gathered around Maris, marveling at the transformation and celebrating the return of their prosperity and happiness. The elder praised Maris for her courage and selflessness, and the story of her quest became a cherished legend in the village. Under the guiding light of the Starlight Compass, the village thrived once more, and Maris' bravery was remembered as a beacon of hope and kindness. The compass continued to shine brightly, a symbol of the power of dreams and the magic that lies in a pure heart. Once upon a time, in a land where the mountains kissed the sky and forests whispered ancient secrets, there was a serene village called Rivamist. This village was nestled by a magnificent lake known as Sapphire Lake. The lake was renowned for its crystal-clear waters that sparkled like sapphires in the sunlight, and it was said that a magical treasure lay hidden at the bottom, waiting to be discovered by a brave soul. For generations, the villagers had told tales of the treasure that could bring great prosperity to Rivamist. However, the lake was surrounded by dense fog and enchanted by ancient magic, making it impossible for anyone to find the treasure. Despite the stories, no one had ever ventured into the lake's depths. In Rivermist lived a small, sturdy boat named Beryl. Beryl was no ordinary boat. She had a gentle heart and a brave spirit. She had always dreamed of exploring the mysteries of Sapphire Lake and discovering the magical treasure for herself. The villagers had always used Beryl for their daily needs, but she yearned for adventure. One day, a terrible drought struck Rivermist. The once lush lands around Sapphire Lake began to wither, and the villagers' crops failed. Desperation grew, and the village elder announced that only a great treasure from the lake could save their beloved home. The villagers gathered by the lake, wondering how they could possibly reach the hidden treasure. Beryl, sensing the villagers' despair, knew this was her chance to fulfill her dream and help her village. She approached the elder with determination. "I will venture into the lake and find the treasure," Beryl declared. The villagers were astonished, but the elder nodded in approval. "You have a brave heart, Beryl. The journey will be perilous, but you must follow the guidance of the ancient map kept in the village's library. It is said to hold clues to the treasure's location." Beryl set off early the next morning, guided by the ancient map she found in the library. The map was old and faded, showing a series of symbols and paths leading through the lake. As Beryl sailed into the fog-covered waters, the magic of the lake stirred, creating gentle ripples that danced around her. The fog grew thicker, and soon Beryl found herself in a labyrinth of mist. The boat followed the map's directions carefully, navigating through the maze of fog. Along the way, Beryl encountered several magical creatures, a chatty water sprite named Nixie, a wise old turtle named Atlas, and a playful school of fish that glowed like lanterns. Nixie guided Beryl through the foggy maze, providing clues about the treasure's location. Atlas shared ancient knowledge about the lake's history, and the glowing fish illuminated the dark paths, helping Beryl stay on course. As Beryl ventured deeper into the lake, she reached an underwater cavern that was hidden from view. The entrance was guarded by a large, shimmering sea serpent named Seraphis. Seraphis was known for his wisdom and his protective nature over the lake's secrets. "Who dares enter my domain?" Seraphis rumbled, his eyes gleaming like emeralds. "It is I, Beryl," the boat replied with courage. "I seek the treasure to save my village from the drought." Seraphis regarded Beryl thoughtfully. "To prove your worth, you must answer a riddle. If you answer correctly, I shall grant you passage to the treasure." Beryl listened intently as Seraphis spoke. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Beryl thought for a moment. She remembered the whispers of the wind and the gentle songs it carried. "An echo," she answered confidently. Seraphis smiled and nodded. "You have answered wisely. You may pass." The sea serpent parted the waters, revealing a hidden chamber adorned with glowing crystals. At the center of the chamber was a chest made of shimmering seashells and coral. Beryl approached the chest and carefully opened it, revealing a radiant, golden amulet encrusted with precious gems. As Beryl took the amulet, the chamber began to light up with a brilliant glow. The magic of the amulet spread through the lake, and the fog began to clear. Beryl made her way back to Rivermist, carrying the amulet with her. Upon her return, the villagers gathered around with awe and anticipation. Beryl placed the amulet at the center of the village square, and its magic spread across the land. The drought ended, and the land around Sapphire Lake was rejuvenated with lush greenery and blooming flowers. The villagers celebrated Beryl's bravery with a grand feast, and the little boat became a beloved hero in Rivermist. The magic of the amulet brought prosperity and joy to the village, and Sapphire Lake sparkled with renewed brilliance. Beryl's adventure became a cherished story, reminding everyone that even the smallest and seemingly ordinary beings can achieve great things with courage and determination. Rivermist thrived, and the legend of the brave little boat who saved the village became a timeless tale told for generations to come. And so, Rivermist lived happily ever after, forever grateful for the magic and bravery that saved their home. The end. Once upon a time, in a quaint kingdom surrounded by rolling meadows and sparkling streams, there lay a hidden grove known as the Enchanted Grove. It was said that this magical grove had the power to grant a single wish to anyone who discovered its secret and proved their heart's true intent. The grove was hidden deep within the Whispering Woods, a forest known for its mysterious and sometimes mischievous inhabitants. In this kingdom lived a kind-hearted girl named Elowen. Elowen loved her village dearly and was always helping others, whether it was tending to the sick, mending clothes, or gathering food. Despite her humble life, she dreamt of discovering the enchanted grove and using its magic to heal her village, which had recently suffered from a severe drought and a series of unfortunate events. One crisp autumn morning, Elowen decided that it was time to embark on a quest to find the enchanted grove and bring its magic back to her village. The first challenge, the Whispering Woods. Elowen's journey began in the Whispering Woods, a dense forest where the trees seemed to whisper secrets to each other. As she walked through the woods, she encountered a wise old owl perched high on a branch, its eyes gleaming with ancient knowledge. To find the way through the Whispering Woods, the owl hooted, "You must solve this riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Elowen thought for a moment and answered, "An echo." The owl nodded approvingly and pointed with its wing towards a narrow, hidden path that led deeper into the forest. "Follow this path to continue your quest," the owl advised. The second challenge, the Glimmering Lake. Elowen followed the path and soon arrived at the Glimmering Lake, a serene body of water that sparkled like a bed of diamonds under the sun. The lake was guarded by a graceful water spirit with shimmering scales and a gentle smile. To cross the Glimmering Lake, the water spirit said in a soothing voice, "You must answer this question. What has keys but can't open locks? Has space but no room, and you can play but not touch?" Elowen pondered the question and replied, "A piano." The water spirit's eyes twinkled with delight, and with a graceful wave of her hand, she created a bridge of floating lilies across the lake. Elowen carefully crossed the bridge, feeling a sense of determination as she neared the next part of her journey. The third challenge, the Cave of Luminescence. On the other side of the lake, Elowen discovered the entrance to the Cave of Luminescence, a grand cavern with walls that glowed softly with a magical light. At the entrance of the cave was a large stone door inscribed with celestial symbols. A melodious voice echoed from within the cave, "To unlock this door and find the enchanted grove, you must reveal your true heart. Share your deepest wish and prove that you seek it with sincerity." Elowen took a deep breath and spoke with honesty, "My deepest wish is to find the enchanted grove and use its magic to heal my village. I want to restore the land and bring hope and prosperity to those who have suffered." The cave's walls began to glow with a warm, golden light, and the ancient door slowly creaked open, revealing a hidden grove bathed in a soft, otherworldly glow. In the center of the grove stood a majestic tree with leaves that shimmered like stardust. The revelation, the grove's gift. With a heart full of hope, Elowen approached the tree and gently touched its trunk. The tree's leaves rustled, and a gentle breeze carried a soft, melodic voice. "You have shown great courage and a pure heart. The magic of the enchanted grove lies in your own intentions." The tree's branches swayed, and a brilliant light enveloped Elowen. When the light faded, she found herself holding a small, radiant seed. "Plant this seed in your village, and its magic will restore the land and bring joy to your people." Elowen thanked the magical tree and hurried back to her village. She planted the seed in the center of the village, and as it began to grow, the land around it flourished. The fields turned lush and green. The river flowed with crystal clear water, and a renewed sense of hope and happiness filled the hearts of the villagers. The villagers celebrated Elowen's bravery and the magic of the enchanted grove, grateful for the restoration of their land and their lives. The tale of Elowen's quest and the enchanted grove became a cherished story in the kingdom, a reminder of the power of a pure heart and the magic that lies within the simplest of acts. Under the glowing light of the enchanted grove, the village thrived once more, forever grateful for the girl who had brought their dreams to life. Once upon a time, in a land not so far away, there was a magical forest known for its whispering trees and shimmering lights. The enchanted forest was a place where dreams danced on moonbeams and every creature had a touch of magic in its heart. In the heart of this forest stood an ancient oak tree, revered by all as the Whispering Oak. It was said that this tree could speak to those who truly listened, sharing secrets and wisdom from ages past. Many people from distant lands would visit, hoping to hear its enchanting tales, but only a few ever did. One day, a young girl named Lila, with hair like spun gold and eyes full of curiosity, wandered into the forest. She had heard tales of the Whispering Oak from her grandmother and yearned to hear its stories herself. Lila's family had always lived on the edge of the enchanted forest, and though she played among the trees many times, she had never ventured deep enough to find the legendary oak. Lila set out early in the morning, carrying a small basket filled with honey cakes, her favorite treat. As she walked, the forest seemed to welcome her. The leaves rustled softly, and the air was filled with the gentle hum of magic. Birds with feathers of gold sang melodies that only added to the forest's allure. After several hours of walking, Lila came upon a clearing bathed in soft sunlight. At the center stood the Whispering Oak, its branches stretching high and wide, as if to embrace the sky. The tree was even more magnificent than she had imagined, with leaves that shimmered like emeralds and bark that seemed to glow with an inner light. Lila approached the tree, her heart pounding with excitement. She sat down at its base and placed her basket beside her. "Hello," she said softly, unsure if the tree could hear her. "I've come to listen to your stories." At first, there was silence. Lila waited, watching the light dance through the branches. Just as she was about to give up, a gentle voice, as soft as the breeze, spoke from the oak. "Welcome, dear child," it said. "Few have come with a heart as pure as yours. What tales would you hear?" Lila was taken aback but quickly regained her composure. "I would love to hear a story about bravery and kindness," she replied. The Whispering Oak rustled its leaves thoughtfully before beginning its tale. "Long ago, before the forest was as we see it now, there was a small village at the edge of a great mountain. The villagers lived in harmony, but their peace was shattered when a fearsome dragon, known as Draven, came down from the mountain and demanded tribute from the people." Lila listened intently as the tree continued. Draven was not just any dragon. He had scales as dark as night and eyes that could turn even the bravest heart to stone. The villagers were terrified, for no one could stand against him. But in their midst was a young woman named Elara. She was neither strong nor powerful, but she possessed a heart full of courage and kindness. One day, Elara decided to face Draven. She gathered her most precious belongings, a silver locket given by her mother and a bouquet of wildflowers, and set off for the dragon's lair. When she arrived, Draven loomed over her like a shadow. The villagers had thought she was foolish, but Elara knew that true bravery lay not in might but in the willingness to confront fear with compassion. The dragon, curious about her audacity, asked her why she had come. Elara held up the locket and said, "This locket is a symbol of my love for my family. I've come to ask you to leave my village in peace, not because we fear you, but because we wish to understand you. I bring these flowers as a token of our willingness to offer friendship." Draven was taken aback. No one had ever approached him with such a gesture. He took the flowers, his heart softened by Elara's bravery and kindness. Over time, the dragon became a protector of the village rather than a menace. Elara's act of courage transformed not only her own life but the fate of her entire village. The Whispering Oak story ended, and the clearing fell silent once more. Lila felt a warmth in her heart, touched by the tale of bravery and kindness. "Thank you," she said to the tree, "for sharing such a beautiful story." The Whispering Oak rustled its leaves gently. "Remember, dear child, true courage is not the absence of fear but the strength to face it with kindness." Lila smiled, feeling a newfound sense of courage and hope. As she made her way back home, she knew that the Whispering Oak's wisdom would guide her in her own life, just as it had guided many before her. And so, Lila returned to her village, carrying with her the magic of the enchanted forest and the lessons learned from the Whispering Oak. She knew that, with bravery and kindness in her heart, she too could change the world. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a kingdom surrounded by emerald forests and sparkling rivers, there was a grand castle ruled by a wise and kind king. His daughter, Princess Aurora, was known for her beauty and generosity. She was beloved by everyone in the kingdom, but she had one sadness: she could not see her own reflection. Her mirror had mysteriously shattered one night, and despite many attempts, the pieces could not be put back together. One day, an old sorcerer appeared at the castle gates with a twinkle in his eye. He claimed he could repair the mirror, but he needed something rare, a single, genuine drop of a phoenix's feather, known to possess magical properties. He warned that finding such a feather would be a great challenge, but Princess Aurora, eager to see herself again and bring hope to her people, agreed to try. The sorcerer told her of a legendary phoenix who lived atop the Misty Mountain, a perilous peak surrounded by thick fog and treacherous paths. Determined, Aurora set out on her quest, armed with a map and her father's old sword. On her journey, Aurora met a kind-hearted knight named Sir Cedric. Sir Cedric was known for his bravery and noble deeds. He had heard of the princess's quest and offered to help, knowing the dangers that lay ahead. "Princess Aurora," Cedric said with a bow, "I will accompany you and ensure your safety. We will find the phoenix together." Aurora thanked Cedric, and the two set off for Misty Mountain. They traveled through enchanted forests, crossed bubbling brooks, and climbed steep cliffs. Along the way, they faced many challenges. They had to outsmart mischievous forest sprites who tried to lead them astray, and they bravely navigated through a dark cave filled with echoing sounds that tried to confuse them. As they neared the top of Misty Mountain, the fog grew thicker, and the air became colder. Aurora and Cedric pressed on, their determination unwavering. Finally, they reached a clearing where the phoenix's magnificent nest was perched atop a glowing stone altar. The phoenix itself, with feathers of gold and red, shimmered in the dim light. It was a sight to behold, majestic and radiant. Cedric approached cautiously, while Aurora stood back, respecting the creature's space. With a deep breath, Cedric spoke. "Great Phoenix, we come in peace. Princess Aurora seeks a single drop of your feather to mend her broken mirror. It is a token of her love for her people and her wish to see herself once more." The phoenix looked at them with wise, knowing eyes. It seemed to understand their noble quest. The phoenix nodded and slowly, one golden feather fell from its plumage. It landed softly on the altar, glistening with a magical light. Aurora's heart soared with joy. She thanked the phoenix, and Cedric carefully placed the feather into a small pouch. As they turned to leave, the phoenix spoke in a melodious voice. "True courage and kindness are the greatest magic of all. You have proven your hearts are pure. May the feather bring not just sight, but wisdom and understanding." Aurora and Cedric made their way back to the castle, their journey now filled with the promise of success. When they arrived, the sorcerer awaited them with a hopeful expression. With the feather in hand, he began the enchanting process of mending the mirror. As the pieces of the mirror came together, a soft, warm glow filled the room. The mirror was whole once more, and Aurora looked into it, finally seeing her reflection. But more importantly, she saw the reflection of all the courage and kindness she had shown along her journey. Cedric, standing beside her, watched with a proud smile. The kingdom rejoiced as the princess's mirror was restored. The people celebrated not just the return of their beloved princess's reflection, but the bravery and kindness that had brought them this joyous day. And so, Princess Aurora and Sir Cedric became close friends, their bond forged through their shared adventure. The kingdom thrived under Aurora's kind rule, and Sir Cedric's deeds were remembered as the tales of bravery and honor. From then on, the magical mirror was not only a symbol of beauty but a reminder of the virtues that truly mattered: courage, kindness, and the magic found in helping others. The end. Once upon a time, in the tranquil kingdom of Eldoria, there was a mystical forest known for its towering trees and sparkling streams. At the heart of this forest stood an ancient tree called the Whispering Willow. This tree was renowned for its ability to grant a single wish to those who were truly pure of heart. In the village of Greenwood, which lay at the edge of the forest, there lived a kind-hearted young girl named Eloan. Iloan was known throughout the village for her compassion and her love for animals. She often wandered into the forest to care for the woodland creatures and to listen to the soothing rustle of the whispering willow's leaves. One day, as Iloan was tending to a wounded fawn, she heard a soft, sorrowful whisper carried by the wind. The whispering willow was speaking to her, though she could not understand its words. That night, she had a dream in which the willow told her that it was in grave danger. The tree's magic was fading, and with it, the balance of the entire forest was at risk. Determined to save the whispering willow and protect the forest she loved, Iloan set out on a quest to discover what was causing the willow's distress. She packed a small satchel with supplies and set off into the heart of the forest, guided by the gentle light of the moon. As Iloan ventured deeper into the forest, she encountered a series of magical creatures that tested her resolve. The first was a mischievous gnome named Bramble, who guarded the entrance to a hidden grove. To proceed, Bramble said with a twinkle in his eye, "You must answer my riddle." Bramble's riddle was, "I have keys but open no locks. I have space but no room. You can enter but not go outside. What am I?" Iloan thought for a moment and answered, "A piano." Bramble chuckled and handed her a small charm. "You may pass. This charm will help you find your way." With the charm in hand, Iloan continued her journey and soon arrived at a crystal-clear pond. Here, she met a wise old water nymph named Nira, who was known for her knowledge of the forest secrets. "To aid the whispering willow, you must first solve a question," Nira said. "What is the greatest force that can heal and restore?" Nira asked. Iloan replied, "The greatest force is love." Nira smiled warmly and handed Iloan a vial of enchanted water. "This will strengthen the willow's magic. But be cautious, for there are darker forces at work." With the vial in hand, Iloan made her way to the whispering willow. As she approached, she saw that the once vibrant tree was now withered and dim. Dark vines had begun to encroach upon the willow, draining its magic. Suddenly, a shadowy figure emerged from the gloom, a sorceress named Morwenna, who had been using dark magic to weaken the willow in order to take control of the forest's magic for herself. "You think you can stop me?" Morwenna sneered. "The power of the whispering willow will be mine." Iloan stood firm and said, "The magic of the forest belongs to all who cherish and protect it. I will not let you harm it." Morwenna raised her staff to cast a dark spell, but Iloan used the charm and the vial of enchanted water to counteract the sorceress's magic. As the water touched the roots of the whispering willow, the tree's magic began to rejuvenate, and the dark vines receded. The whispering willow's leaves began to rustle with renewed vigor, and a radiant light spread through the forest, driving Morwenna away. The sorceress, defeated, vanished into the shadows, and the balance of the forest was restored. The whispering willow, now vibrant and full of life, spoke to Iloan in a voice as gentle as the breeze. "Thank you, dear Iloan. Your bravery and pure heart have saved me and restored harmony to the forest. As a token of our gratitude, I grant you one wish." Iloan thought for a moment and then said, "I wish for the forest to remain safe and flourishing, so that all its creatures may thrive." The whispering willow's light grew even brighter, and the forest seemed to sing with joy. "Your wish is granted. The forest will be forever protected, and its magic will remain strong." Iloan returned to her village, where she was celebrated as a hero. The whispering willow continued to stand tall and radiant, its magic safeguarding the forest and its inhabitants. Iloan often visited the tree, sharing her love and care with the woodland creatures and listening to the willow's gentle whispers. And so, the kingdom of Eldoria thrived in peace and harmony, forever blessed by the magic of the whispering willow and the courage of a young girl who loved her forest. And they lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled by a vast, shimmering lake, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Mira. Mira was known for her curious nature and her love for adventure. She often explored the nearby woods, dreaming of discovering something magical. One autumn evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the first stars began to twinkle in the sky, Mira noticed a soft glow coming from the edge of the forest. She followed the light and stumbled upon a mysterious, ancient lantern hanging from a tree branch. The lantern was adorned with intricate patterns and glowed with a warm, golden light. Attached to it was a delicate note that read, "To uncover the secret of the Lantern of Lumina, follow the path of moonbeams." Excited by the discovery, Mira took the lantern and carefully read the note. As she looked up at the moon, its light seemed to shimmer and dance, casting long, silvery beams through the trees. With a heart full of curiosity, Mira set off along the path illuminated by the moonlight. The path led her deeper into the forest, past whispering trees and over gently babbling brooks. The moonbeams guided her until she reached a hidden grove surrounded by tall, ancient oak trees. In the center of the grove stood a grand, old stone archway, covered in ivy and glowing softly under the moonlight. Mira approached the archway and noticed that the lantern's light began to flicker and pulse. She felt a gentle pull and stepped through the archway, entering a magical realm bathed in a soft, silvery glow. The realm was filled with sparkling streams, floating lanterns, and luminescent flowers that seemed to hum with a gentle melody. As Mira explored this enchanting place, she came upon a beautiful, ethereal fairy with wings that shimmered like moonlight. The fairy introduced herself as Luna, the guardian of the Lantern of Lumina. "Welcome, Mira," Luna said with a voice like a soft chime. "You have found the Lantern of Lumina, which holds the power to illuminate the dreams and hopes of those who believe in its magic. However, the lantern's light has dimmed, and it needs a special kind of magic to restore its brilliance." Mira listened with wonder as Luna explained that the lantern's light was linked to the dreams of people in her village. The dreams had become clouded and faint, and the lantern needed to be filled with the pure, glowing dreams of a true dreamer to regain its full power. To restore the lantern's light, Luna continued, "You must make a heartfelt wish under the moonlight and share your own dreams and hopes. Only then will the lantern's magic be fully awakened." Mira took a deep breath and made her way to a shimmering pool in the center of the grove. The pool reflected the moonlight and seemed to hold all the dreams of the world. She closed her eyes and thought deeply about her wish. Her heart was filled with dreams of adventure, happiness for her village, and a world where kindness and hope shone brightly. As she made her wish, the lantern's light began to grow stronger. The magic of her dreams and the moonlight combined, causing the lantern to glow with a brilliant, warm light that illuminated the entire realm. The stream sparkled, the lanterns floated higher, and the flowers glowed more brightly than ever before. Luna smiled and said, "Your wish has restored the lantern's light and renewed its magic. The Lantern of Lumina will now shine brightly, guiding the dreams and hopes of your village. Thank you for your heartfelt wish and for sharing your dreams." With the lantern's light now restored, Luna gave Mira a small, glowing pendant. This pendant contains a fragment of the lantern's magic. It will help you share its light and inspire dreams wherever you go. Mira thanked Luna and made her way back through the archway, returning to her village. The pendant around her neck seemed to sparkle with a soft, golden light. As she arrived home, she found that the lantern's magic had begun to touch the lives of everyone in the village. Dreams were clearer, hopes were brighter, and the village was filled with a renewed sense of wonder and joy. Every full moon, Mira would hold the lantern and make a wish for her village, knowing that its magic was always with her. The Lantern of Lumina's light continued to shine brightly, a reminder that even the simplest dreams could create the most magical of moments. And so, the village thrived under the gentle glow of the lantern's magic, and Mira's dreams became a beacon of hope and inspiration for everyone. The end. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between towering mountains and endless forests, there was a hidden valley known only to a few. This valley was renowned for its breathtaking beauty, but it held a secret more wondrous than any other, the Starlight Crystal, a gem said to possess the power to grant one great wish. In the nearby village of Everwood, there lived a kind-hearted boy named Finn. Finn was known for his bravery and his willingness to help anyone in need. Though he lived a modest life, he always dreamed of making a difference in the world beyond his village. One day, while helping his father in the fields, Finn overheard a traveler speaking of the Starlight Crystal and its extraordinary power. Inspired, Finn decided that he would seek out the crystal to make a wish that could help his village.
Hey,
With a sense of adventure and a heart full of hope, Finn set out on his quest. The journey to the hidden valley was treacherous, with steep cliffs, dense forests, and mysterious creatures lurking in the shadows. Finn was determined, though, and he braved each challenge with courage and perseverance. As he journeyed deeper into the forest, he encountered a wise old owl perched on a gnarled branch. The owl, sensing Finn's noble intentions, spoke to him. To find the Starlight Crystal, you must prove your heart's purity. You will face 3 trials that test your bravery, kindness, and wisdom. Finn nodded, ready to face the challenges. The first trial was to cross a treacherous chasm spanned by a fragile, swaying bridge. As he stepped onto the bridge, it began to tremble and creak. Finn's heart raced, but he focused on the goal and slowly made his way across, holding tightly to the ropes. Just as he reached the other side, the bridge collapsed behind him, and he knew he had passed the first trial. The second trial was a forest filled with enchanted creatures who had been cursed to sleep until someone showed them kindness. Finn found a small, injured fox tangled in thorns. He gently freed the fox and tended to its wounds, singing softly to calm it. As he did, the curse lifted, and the forest creatures awoke, their gratitude lighting up the dark woods. Finn had succeeded in the second trial through his compassion. The final trial was to solve a riddle posed by a shimmering, silver stream that flowed through the heart of the valley. The stream spoke in a gentle voice. To reveal the path to the Starlight Crystal, you must answer this. What can travel around the world while staying in a corner? Finn thought deeply, remembering the lessons he had learned on his journey. Suddenly, the answer came to him. A stamp, he said with confidence. The stream sparkled and parted, revealing a hidden path lined with glowing flowers. Finn followed the path to a magnificent cave where the Starlight Crystal rested on a pedestal, bathing the cave in a soft, celestial glow. Finn approached the crystal and placed his hands on it. The crystal's light intensified, and a voice echoed through the cave. You have proven your heart's worth. State your wish, and it shall be granted. Finn thought of his village and the struggles they faced. I wish for my village to have prosperity and happiness, so that everyone may live well and support each other. The crystal's light enveloped Finn, and a warm, golden glow spread out from the cave. When Finn returned to Everwood, he found that the village had been transformed. The fields were lush with crops, the wells were full of fresh water, and the people were smiling and content. The village thrived like never before, and Finn's wish had come true. The villagers celebrated Finn's return, and he shared the story of his journey in the trials he had faced. The tale of Finn's bravery, kindness, and wisdom became a cherished legend in Everwood, and the village prospered with a newfound sense of unity and joy. Finn continued to live a humble yet fulfilling life, knowing that he had made a difference. The secret of the Starlight Crystal remained a treasured story, passed down through generations as a reminder of the power of a pure heart and the magic that can come from selfless wishes. And so, Finn and the village of Everwood lived happily ever after, their days filled with prosperity, happiness, and the warm glow of shared dreams. In the heart of the enchanted forest, where ancient trees whispered secrets and magical creatures roamed freely, there was a small village named Everwood. Everwood was known for its enchanting beauty and its mysterious moonlit lake, which was said to hold a magical secret. Each month, on the night of the full moon, a soft, melodious tune would rise from the lake, captivating anyone who heard it. The source of the melody was unknown, and despite many villagers' attempts to discover its origin, no one had succeeded. The legend spoke of a magical night when the melody would reveal its secrets to a heart pure and true. In this village lived a young girl named Elara, known for her love of music and her kind heart. Elara had always been drawn to the moonlit lake and its mysterious melody. She believed that the melody was a gift and was determined to uncover its source. One evening, as the full moon began to rise, Elara made her way to the edge of the moonlit lake. The lake was bathed in silver light, and the melody began to drift through the air, more enchanting than ever. Elara closed her eyes and let the music wash over her, feeling its magic in her heart. Determined to uncover the secret, Elara sat by the lake and sang along with the melody. Her voice blended with the music, creating a harmony that seemed to resonate with the very essence of the lake. As she sang, she noticed a soft glow beneath the water's surface. Suddenly, a gentle ripple spread across the lake, and a shimmering figure emerged. It was a beautiful water nymph named Lyra, with flowing hair that sparkled like moonlight and eyes as deep as the lake itself. "You have a pure heart and a love for music," Lyra said, her voice like a soft breeze. "The melody you hear is a gift from the Moonlight Muse, a magical being who dwells within the lake. Each full moon, the Muse sings a melody that can only be heard by those who truly appreciate its beauty." Ilara's eyes widened with wonder. "Can you tell me more about the Moonlight Muse?" Lyra smiled. "The Moonlight Muse is a guardian of the lake and the protector of harmony in the enchanted forest. Long ago, the Muse created the melody to bring peace and joy to those who listened. However, the Muse's power has waned over time, and the melody has become harder to hear." Ilara felt a surge of empathy for the Muse. "Is there a way I can help?" Lyra's expression grew serious. "To restore the Muse's power, you must embark on a journey to the heart of the enchanted forest and find the Crystal of Harmony. This crystal has the power to renew the Muse's magic and restore the melody to its full glory." Ilara agreed to undertake the quest. Lyra guided her to the edge of the forest, where the path to the heart of the forest began. The forest was filled with magical creatures and enchanted wonders, but Ilara's resolve and kindness shone brightly, guiding her through each challenge she faced. As she ventured deeper into the forest, Ilara encountered a wise old owl named Orion, who offered her guidance. "To find the Crystal of Harmony, you must pass 3 trials," Orion explained. "The first trial is to find the hidden grove, where the crystal is kept. The second trial is to prove your bravery by facing your greatest fear. The third trial is to show your compassion by helping those in need." Ilara followed Orion's advice and embarked on the trials. She used her musical talent to find the hidden grove, where the crystal was guarded by an illusionary maze. By singing a lullaby that resonated with the forest's magic, she revealed the true path to the crystal. For the second trial, Ilara faced her greatest fear, being alone and lost. With courage and determination, she reminded herself of her purpose and sang a song of hope and bravery, overcoming her fear. For the final trial, Ilara encountered a group of lost forest creatures who needed help finding their way home. She guided them with kindness and music, showing her compassion and earning their gratitude. At last, Ilara reached the Crystal of Harmony. She carefully picked it up, feeling its warmth and magic. With the crystal in hand, she returned to the moonlit lake. As she approached, the lake began to shimmer and glow with renewed brilliance. Lyra appeared once more, and Ilara placed the crystal in the lake's heart. A brilliant light enveloped the lake, and the Moonlight Muse emerged, its presence filling the air with a harmonious melody that resonated throughout the enchanted forest. The Muse's song was now more enchanting and powerful than ever, bringing peace and joy to all who heard it. Ilara had restored the Muse's magic, and the melody continued to inspire and uplift the village of Everwood. The villagers celebrated the return of the magical melody, and Ilara's bravery and kindness became the stuff of legend. From that day on, the moonlit lake remained a beacon of harmony and enchantment, a reminder of the magic that could be found in the purest of hearts. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and a shimmering lake, there was a small, magical forest known as the Moonlight Grove. The villagers believed that the grove was home to a special kind of magic that only appeared when the moon was full and bright. In this village lived a young girl named Lena. Lena was curious and kind-hearted, and she loved to explore the forest, especially during the full moon. Her grandmother, who had once told her enchanting stories about the grove, had always warned her about one thing: never touch the starry lantern. The starry lantern was a legendary object said to hold the power to grant any wish. It was hidden deep within the forest and could only be seen during the full moon. Despite her grandmother's warnings, Lena was intrigued by the stories and often wondered what it would be like to see the lantern. One crisp, clear night, when the full moon was especially bright, Lena decided to venture into the forest. She had heard rumors that the lantern was appearing this night, and her curiosity got the better of her. With a lantern of her own and a small basket of food, she set off into the moonlit woods. As Lena walked deeper into the forest, she marveled at the way the moonlight danced on the leaves, casting enchanting shadows. The path was illuminated with a soft glow, leading her towards the heart of the forest. After a while, she reached a clearing bathed in moonlight, where the air seemed to shimmer with magic. In the center of the clearing stood an ancient oak tree with branches that sparkled as if adorned with tiny stars. Hanging from one of its branches was the starry lantern. It glowed with a mesmerizing light, its surface covered in delicate patterns that shifted and changed like the night sky. Lena approached the lantern with a mixture of awe and trepidation. She remembered her grandmother's warning but felt an irresistible pull towards it. The lantern's glow seemed to beckon her closer. As Lena reached out and touched the lantern, a gentle voice spoke. "Welcome, Lena. I am the Starry Lantern. You have shown great courage to find me, and now I can grant you one wish. But remember, wishes made from the heart are the most powerful." Lena was taken aback but quickly gathered her thoughts. She knew exactly what she wished for. She had seen her village struggle with harsh winters and poor harvests. Her wish was simple yet profound. She wanted her village to always have enough food and warmth to get through the hardest of times. With a deep breath, Lena spoke her wish aloud. "I wish for my village to always have enough food and warmth, so no one has to go hungry or cold." The lantern's light grew brighter, and the air around Lena seemed to swirl with a soft, warm breeze. "Your wish is granted," the lantern said. "Remember, true magic comes from the heart. Share this magic with others, and it will grow." As Lena made her way back to the village, she felt a sense of peace and fulfillment. She arrived to find her village bustling with newfound energy. The fields were lush with crops, and the village had an abundance of food and warmth. Everyone was puzzled but grateful for the sudden change in their fortunes. Lena knew the magic of the Starry Lantern had worked, but she also knew that her village's kindness and unity were just as important. She shared the story of her adventure and encouraged everyone to work together and support each other. From that day on, the village thrived. The villagers learned that the true magic lay not just in the lantern, but in their own hearts and their willingness to help one another. And each full moon, Lena would visit the Moonlight Grove to remember the magic of that night and the power of a selfless wish. The end. Once upon a time, in a kingdom not found on any map, there was a realm of gears and magic called Clockwork. This land was ruled by a wise and kind-hearted queen named Alara. Queen Alara was no ordinary monarch, she had a special gift. Her heart was connected to the kingdom's grand clock, a magnificent timepiece that ticked rhythmically at the center of the capital city. This clock wasn't just for telling time, it governed the very essence of magic in the land. The kingdom thrived in harmony, thanks to the clock. Every tick brought a fresh bloom of flowers, and every talk sent a gentle breeze to cool the land. However, this perfect balance was threatened one fateful day when a mysterious shadowy figure appeared at the edge of the kingdom. This figure was none other than an envious sorcerer named Malachi, who had longed for the magic of the Clockwork Kingdom. He harbored a dark spell that could halt the grand clock's gears, plunging the land into chaos. Disguised as a humble traveler, Malachi entered the kingdom and managed to slip into the palace unnoticed. There, he whispered his spell into the heart of the clock. As the spell took hold, the once harmonious ticking of the clock began to falter. Flowers wilted, and the breeze turned into a harsh wind. Queen Alara, sensing the imbalance, knew that something was terribly wrong. She called upon her trusted advisor, a clever mechanical owl named Hoot, and together they set out to find the source of the disturbance. Hoot's mechanical eyes scanned the kingdom's clockwork machinery while Alara used her magic to sense the disruption. They soon discovered the dark enchantment at the heart of the clock. Realizing the urgency of the situation, Alara and Hoot needed to act quickly to save their beloved kingdom. They set out on a perilous journey to find the only thing that could break Malachi's spell, a legendary artifact known as the Crystal Key. This key was said to be hidden deep within the enchanted forest, guarded by ancient beings and tricky puzzles. The enchanted forest was no ordinary woodland. Its trees whispered secrets, and its paths shifted with every step. Ilara and Hoot ventured deeper into the forest, facing numerous challenges. They solved riddles posed by talking animals, navigated through shifting illusions, and even braved the trials of the forest guardian, a majestic stag with eyes like glowing emeralds. At the heart of the forest, they finally reached the hidden sanctuary where the crystal key lay. It was a radiant gem that pulsed with a soft, inviting glow. But to retrieve it, they needed to answer one final riddle posed by the guardian: what binds time and magic together, yet never can be seen? Ilara thought deeply, her mind racing through the magical principles she had learned over the years. Then it struck her. "It is the essence of balance," she exclaimed. The guardian's eyes sparkled with approval, and the crystal key floated into her hands. With the crystal key in their possession, Ilara and Hoot raced back to the kingdom. As they approached the grand clock, Malachi reappeared, furious at their success. He tried to unleash his dark magic once more, but Ilara was ready. She used the crystal key to counteract the spell, and with a surge of magic, the grand clock began to tick smoothly once again. The kingdom's harmony was restored. Flowers bloomed, and the breeze became gentle once more. Malachi, realizing he was defeated, fled into the shadows, never to be seen again. Queen Ilara and Hoot were celebrated as heroes. The kingdom rejoiced in their restored magic and balance. From that day on, the grand clock continued its steady rhythm, and the people of Clockwork lived in peace and prosperity. And as for Ilara, she never forgot the lesson that balance was the key to harmony, and that even in times of darkness, courage and wisdom could restore the light. And so, in the enchanted land of Clockwork, time ticked on, carrying with it the magic of harmony in the legacy of a brave queen and her loyal friend. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. Once upon a time, in a quaint little town, there was a small bookshop called Whispers of the Pages. The bookshop was nestled between a bakery that always smelled of fresh bread and a flower shop bursting with colorful blooms. The shop was old, with creaky wooden floors and shelves lined with books of every size and color. But what made this bookshop truly special was that it was enchanted, though only a few knew its secret. The bookshop was owned by a kind, elderly man named Mr. Oliver. He had a twinkle in his eye and always wore a soft woolen scarf, no matter the weather. Mr. Oliver loved books more than anything in the world. He knew that books were not just words on paper, but gateways to magical worlds and grand adventures. One rainy afternoon, a young girl named Lucy wandered into the shop. She had been out exploring when the rain started, and she was looking for a place to stay dry. Lucy was an adventurous and curious girl, with a bright smile and a mind full of questions. She loved stories and often imagined herself as the heroine in far-off lands. As Lucy browsed the shelves, Mr. Oliver noticed her and smiled. "Welcome, my dear," he said warmly. "Feel free to explore. There's a book here for everyone." Lucy smiled back and began to wander through the shop. She marveled at the many books, some with golden lettering, others with old, worn covers. There were books about knights and dragons, faraway kingdoms, and talking animals. But as she reached the back of the shop, something caught her eye. It was a small, dusty book tucked away on a high shelf. The book's cover was plain and brown, with no title or author's name. Intrigued, Lucy reached up and carefully pulled it down. As soon as she opened the book, something extraordinary happened. A soft, glowing light emerged from the pages, and the room around her seemed to disappear. Suddenly, Lucy found herself standing in a beautiful, enchanted forest. The trees were tall and covered with glowing leaves that shimmered like stars. A gentle breeze rustled through the branches, and in the distance, Lucy could hear the sound of a bubbling brook. Lucy looked around in amazement. "Where am I?" she whispered. Just then, a small, golden bird flew down and perched on a branch beside her. "Welcome, Lucy," the bird chirped. "You have entered the world of the enchanted bookshop, where stories come to life." Lucy's eyes widened in surprise. "You know my name?" The bird nodded. "Of course. Every reader who opens that book is brought into the world of their own story. Here, your imagination becomes reality. But remember, you must finish your story before the bookshop closes, or you may be stuck here forever. Lucy felt a thrill of excitement. This was exactly the kind of adventure she had always dreamed of. "What do I have to do?" she asked. The golden bird fluttered its wings and said, "Every story needs a hero, and every hero must face a challenge. Your challenge is to find the Heartstone, a magical gem that keeps the balance of this world. It has been stolen by a mischievous goblin named Grimble. Without the Heartstone, the light in our forest will fade, and darkness will take over." Lucy nodded, determined. "I'll find the Heartstone and bring it back." The golden bird pointed its beak toward a path that led deeper into the forest. "Follow this path, and it will lead you to Grimble's lair. But be careful, Grimble is tricky and loves to play games." With a deep breath, Lucy set off down the path. The forest was filled with wonders, glowing flowers, trees that whispered secrets, and friendly animals that greeted her along the way. But Lucy knew she had to stay focused on her mission. After walking for some time, Lucy reached a dark cave at the edge of the forest. This was Grimble's lair. Taking a deep breath, she stepped inside. The cave was dimly lit by glowing mushrooms, and shadows danced on the walls. In the center of the cave, sitting on a pile of treasures, was Grimble. Grimble was small, with pointy ears, a wide grin, and mischievous eyes that twinkled in the dim light. He was holding the Heartstone, a beautiful gem that glowed with a soft, blue light. "Ah, a visitor," Grimble cackled. "What brings you to my humble home?" Lucy stood tall and spoke bravely. "I've come to take back the Heartstone. The forest needs it to stay alive." Grimble chuckled. "You're a bold one, aren't you? But I don't just give away my treasures. If you want the Heartstone, you must win it from me. We'll play a game, a riddle contest. If you solve my riddle, the Heartstone is yours. But if you fail, you'll be stuck here forever." Lucy agreed, her heart pounding with both fear and excitement. Grimble grinned wider and began. "Here is your riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?" Lucy thought hard. She had heard this riddle before. She closed her eyes, imagining the answer. Then, with a smile, she said, "You are an echo." Grimble's grin faded, and his eyes widened in surprise. "You're right," he grumbled. "I didn't think you'd get it so quickly." Reluctantly, Grimble handed the Heartstone to Lucy. As soon as she touched it, the cave filled with a bright light, and the darkness melted away. "Well done, Lucy," Grimble said, sounding both impressed and disappointed. "You've won the game and saved the forest." Lucy thanked Grimble and hurried back to the forest with the Heartstone. As soon as she returned, the golden bird flew down to meet her. "You did it," the bird chirped happily. "The forest is safe again." Lucy placed the Heartstone back in its rightful place in the heart of the forest, and immediately, the trees glowed brighter, and the air filled with the sweet scent of flowers. As Lucy watched, the world around her began to fade, and she found herself back in the bookshop, holding the dusty old book. The light from the pages slowly dimmed, and the book closed with a soft thud. Mr. Oliver appeared beside her, smiling kindly. "It seems you've had quite the adventure, my dear." Lucy nodded, her heart still racing with excitement. "The book, it took me to a magical world." Mr. Oliver chuckled. "Books are magical in many ways. They can take us on adventures, teach us new things, and show us worlds beyond our own. But remember, the most important stories are the ones you create yourself." Lucy smiled, understanding the wisdom in his words. She carefully placed the book back on the shelf, knowing that it would be waiting for the next curious reader to discover its magic. As Lucy left the shop, the rain had stopped, and a rainbow stretched across the sky. She walked home with a heart full of joy, knowing that even in the real world, there were endless adventures waiting to be found in the pages of a book. The end. Once upon a time, in a kingdom bordered by vast forests and rolling hills, there was a small village called Fairwood. Fairwood was known for its peaceful surroundings and its magical forest of whispers, a place where every tree and leaf seemed to hold secrets and stories. In this village lived a young girl named Nora. Nora was known for her adventurous spirit and her love of the forest. Every day after school, she would explore the edges of the forest, listening to the soft whispers of the trees and dreaming of the mysteries hidden within. One day, as Nora ventured deeper into the forest than she had ever gone before, she stumbled upon an ancient, twisted oak tree. The tree was unlike any she had seen. Its bark was covered in shimmering runes that seemed to pulse with a gentle light. At the base of the tree was a small, ornate door. Nora, curious and excited, carefully pushed open the door and stepped inside. She found herself in a hidden chamber bathed in a soft, golden glow. In the center of the chamber stood an old, wise-looking owl named Orpheus. "Welcome, Nora," Orpheus hooted. "I've been expecting you." Nora was astonished. "You know my name?" Orpheus nodded. "Yes, the Forest of Whispers has revealed your presence. You see, the forest is in great danger. A shadowy curse has begun to spread, causing the forest's magic to wane. Only someone with a pure heart can break the curse and restore balance." Nora's eyes widened. "What can I do to help?" Orpheus explained, "To break the curse, you must find 3 enchanted crystals hidden within the forest. Each crystal holds a piece of the forest's magic. The first crystal is hidden in the Cave of Echoes, the second in the Garden of Night Blossoms, and the third in the Tower of Time." Determined to help, Nora set off with Max, her faithful dog, by her side. Their first destination was the Cave of Echoes. The cave's entrance was shrouded in mist, and the echoes of their footsteps filled the air. Inside, the cave was lined with glittering crystals that reflected light in a mesmerizing dance. At the heart of the cave, they found the first crystal, a brilliant sapphire, embedded in a stone pedestal. To retrieve it, Nora had to solve a riddle carved into the pedestal. "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Nora thought for a moment and answered, "A joke." The pedestal opened, and the sapphire crystal was revealed. With the first crystal in hand, Nora and Max continued their journey to the Garden of Night Blossoms. This garden was a magical place where flowers bloomed only under the light of the moon. The garden was bathed in soft, silver light, and the flowers glowed with a gentle, soothing radiance. In the center of the garden was the second crystal, a radiant emerald, resting atop a pedestal covered in delicate night blossoms. To obtain the crystal, Nora had to show kindness to the creatures of the garden. As she tended to the flowers and helped a pair of fireflies find their way, the emerald crystal was revealed. Finally, Nora and Max made their way to the Tower of Time, an ancient structure covered in vines and glowing with a faint, magical aura. Inside the tower, the walls were adorned with clocks and hourglasses, each ticking and talking with a life of its own. At the top of the tower, they found the third crystal, a shimmering ruby, embedded in an ornate clock. To retrieve it, Nora had to answer one final question: what is always moving but never goes anywhere? Nora thought hard and then answered, "Time." The clock's hands moved, and the ruby crystal was released. With all 3 crystals in hand, Nora returned to the ancient oak tree. Orpheus awaited her, and as she placed the crystals on a stone altar, their combined magic began to glow and swirl. The shadowy curse that had plagued the forest started to lift, and the vibrant magic of the forest was restored. The Forest of Whispers returned to its former glory, with the trees and flowers once again glowing softly under the moonlight. The village of Fairwood rejoiced, and Nora was celebrated as a hero for saving the forest. Orpheus thanked Nora, saying, "You have not only saved the forest but also shown great bravery and kindness. The Forest of Whispers will always be grateful to you." Nora and Max returned home, their hearts full of joy and adventure. The forest continued to whisper its secrets and stories, and Nora's bond with it grew even stronger. And so, the Forest of Whispers flourished, and Nora's name was remembered for generations as a beacon of courage and compassion. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a land where the sun always seemed to shine and the rivers sparkled like diamonds, there was a small village named Eldoria. Nestled at the edge of a vast and mysterious forest, the villagers spoke often of the Forest of Whispering Leaves. It was said that the forest held many secrets, and the trees could speak in hushed tones, sharing ancient wisdom with those who listened. In Eldoria lived a kind-hearted girl named Elara. She had always been drawn to the forest, her curiosity piqued by the tales of magic and mystery. One day, as she was walking by the edge of the forest, she heard a faint whispering among the trees. The whispers seemed to call her name, and she could not resist the urge to step into the forest to uncover its secrets. As Elara entered the Forest of Whispering Leaves, she marveled at the tall, majestic trees with their silver leaves that shimmered in the dappled sunlight. The forest seemed alive with enchantment, and the leaves rustled softly as if sharing stories from long ago. The deeper Elara ventured, the more she felt as if the forest was guiding her. Suddenly, she came upon a clearing where an ancient oak tree stood. Its trunk was wide and gnarled, and its branches were adorned with glowing, golden leaves. At the base of the tree, a small, delicate door was nestled between the roots. The door was carved with intricate patterns, and a gentle glow emanated from it. Elara hesitated for a moment but then mustered the courage to open the door. Inside, she found a cozy chamber with walls lined with shelves full of shimmering bottles and scrolls. In the center of the room sat a wise old owl with feathers that sparkled like stardust. The owl's eyes were deep and knowing, and he introduced himself as Oswin, the guardian of the forest. Oswin explained that the forest was in danger. A powerful sorceress named Morgana had cast a spell to drain the forest of its magic, turning its vibrant life into a shadow of its former self. The forest needed someone pure of heart and brave of spirit to restore its magic by finding and reawakening 3 ancient artifacts hidden within the forest. Elara agreed to help Oswin, and he provided her with a magical map that would guide her on her quest. The map was adorned with glowing symbols that would reveal the path to each artifact. The first artifact, the Heartstone, was hidden in the Caves of Echoes. These caves were known for their haunting whispers and tricky illusions. Elara bravely entered the dark caves, relying on her intuition to navigate the twisting passages. She followed the sound of a faint, melodic tune and found the Heartstone nestled in a hidden chamber. The stone pulsed with a warm, soothing light, and Elara felt its magic begin to flow through her. The second artifact, the Moonlit Pendant, was located atop the Tower of Stars, which was guarded by a series of challenging puzzles. Elara climbed the tower, solving each puzzle with cleverness and patience. At the top, she found the Moonlit Pendant, a beautiful necklace that glowed with the soft light of the moon. Its light filled the tower with a calming glow, and Elara knew it was a powerful artifact. The final artifact, the Ember Flame, was hidden in the Enchanted Grove, a place where time seemed to stand still. The grove was filled with dancing fireflies and shimmering fire blossoms. Elara searched for the Ember Flame, which was said to be hidden within the heart of the grove. She followed a trail of glowing flowers and found the Ember Flame, a fiery gem that radiated warmth and strength. With all 3 artifacts in hand, Elara returned to the ancient oak tree and placed the Heartstone, Moonlit Pendant, and Ember Flame in their designated spots around the tree. As she did, a brilliant light burst forth, and the forest began to glow with renewed magic. The tree's leaves shimmered, the river sparkled, and the forest was alive once more. Morgana, the sorceress, appeared, her dark magic fading as the forest's enchantment returned. Elara's bravery and pure heart had undone the sorceress's spell, and Morgana was banished from the forest forever. Oswin thanked Elara and gifted her a small, silver leaf as a token of gratitude. "This leaf will always remind you of the magic within the Forest of Whispering Leaves," he said. "And should you ever need guidance, the forest will be here for you." Elara returned to Eldoria, her heart filled with joy and her spirit enriched by the adventure. She shared her story with the villagers, and the tale of the Forest of Whispering Leaves became a cherished legend in Eldoria. The forest continued to thrive, its whispers a gentle reminder of the bravery and kindness that had restored its magic. And so, Elara's legacy lived on, inspiring others to seek out the magic in their own hearts and to cherish the wonder of the world around them. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and the sparkling river, there lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was known throughout the village for her love of music. She could often be found singing sweet melodies or playing her small, wooden flute beneath the ancient oak tree in the village square. One sunny afternoon, while exploring her grandmother's attic, Elara stumbled upon a dusty, old music box. It was adorned with delicate engravings of stars and moons, and it had a small, shimmering key. Intrigued, Elara gently wound the key and opened the music box. To her amazement, a beautiful, ethereal melody began to play, filling the attic with a soft, magical light. As the music swirled around her, Elara noticed something strange. The melody seemed to create tiny, glowing sparks that danced in the air. She reached out to touch one of the sparks, and in an instant, she was transported to a wondrous, magical realm. The new world was a land of enchanted forests and sparkling rivers. Colorful flowers bloomed everywhere, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of jasmine and roses. In the heart of this magical land stood a grand castle made of crystal, its towers reaching high into the sky. Elara approached the castle, her heart racing with excitement. Inside the castle, she met a wise old fairy named Serafina. The fairy wore a flowing gown made of stardust and had wings that shimmered like moonlight. Serafina welcomed Elara warmly and explained that the music box was a magical artifact that could open a portal to their realm, but only for those with a heart full of joy and wonder. The melody of the music box, Serafina said, was crafted by an ancient spell to bring harmony and happiness to our world. However, it has been lost for many years, and our realm has been falling into darkness. Serafina told Elara that to restore balance, she needed to find 3 special crystals hidden throughout the realm. Each crystal held a piece of the music box's magic, and once collected, they would help restore the harmony that had been lost. Determined to help, Elara set out on her quest. The first crystal was said to be hidden in the Whispering Woods, where the trees spoke in gentle voices. As Elara ventured into the woods, she listened carefully to the whispers of the trees. They guided her to a hidden glade where the crystal lay nestled among a bed of glowing mushrooms. With the first crystal in hand, Elara continued her journey to the second location, the Crystal Lake. The lake was said to reflect the stars even in daylight. As Elara approached the shimmering waters, she saw that the crystal was submerged beneath the surface, glowing faintly. Using her flute, she played a soothing melody that calmed the waters, allowing her to retrieve the crystal. The final crystal was hidden in the Cave of Echoes, where the walls were lined with sparkling gems. Elara entered the cave, where every sound echoed back to her. She played a melody on her flute that harmonized perfectly with the echoes, revealing the hidden crystal in a secret alcove. With all 3 crystals in hand, Elara returned to the grand castle. Serafina and the magical beings of the realm gathered to witness the restoration of the music box's magic. Elara carefully placed the crystals into the music box, and as she did, the box began to glow brightly, its melody growing richer and more vibrant. The magical realm was instantly transformed. The once dim landscapes now sparkled with renewed light, and the flowers and trees seemed to sing along with the music. The enchantment had been restored, and the realm was filled with joy and harmony once more. Serafina thanked Elara for her bravery and kindness. As a token of their gratitude, the fairy queen gifted Elara a beautiful, enchanted pendant that would allow her to visit their magical realm whenever she wished. Elara returned to her village, her heart filled with the wonders of her adventure. From that day on, Elara's music was even more enchanting, and the melodies she played brought joy and magic to everyone who heard them. The music box remained a cherished keepsake, a reminder of the magical realm she had saved and the power of a kind heart. And so, the tale of Elara and the enchanted music box became a beloved story in the village, inspiring generations to seek out magic and beauty in the world around them. Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Harmonia, music filled every corner of the land. From dawn till dusk, melodies danced through the air, and the people sang and played instruments that created the most beautiful symphonies. The source of this music was the legendary Melody Fountain, a magical spring said to be blessed by the muse of music. In a quiet village on the edge of Harmonia lived a young girl named Lyra. Lyra was known for her incredible singing voice, which could make even the hardest heart soften. However, despite her talent, Lyra often felt that something was missing from her music. It was as if an essential note had been lost. One day, Lyra learned from an old storyteller that the melody fountain had begun to lose its magic. The songs that once flowed freely from it were now barely a whisper. The storyteller mentioned a long-forgotten song that was said to have the power to restore the fountain's magic, but the notes of the song had been lost to time. Determined to find the lost song and restore the melody fountain, Lyra set off on a journey through Harmonia. She began her quest by traveling to the great library of Harmonia, where the ancient scrolls and books held the secrets of the kingdom's music. The library was guarded by a wise old librarian named Alaric. To find the lost song, Alaric said, "You must first solve a riddle. I am not alive, yet I grow. I don't have lungs, yet I need air. I don't have a mouth, yet I need water. What am I?" Lyra thought carefully and answered, "A cloud." Alaric nodded approvingly and handed her an old, dusty book. This book contains fragments of the forgotten song. To piece it together, you must visit 3 magical places in Harmonia where the notes of the song were last heard. Lyra thanked Alaric and set off on her quest. Her first destination was the Whispering Woods, a place where the trees were said to hum with a melody when the wind blew through them. As she ventured into the woods, she encountered a talking squirrel named Nutmeg, who offered to help her. "The first part of the song is hidden in the heart of the woods," Nutmeg said. "To find it, you must answer this question. What has keys but cannot open locks, has space but no room, and you can enter but not go inside?" Lyra thought for a moment and answered, "A piano." Nutmeg led her to an ancient oak tree where, nestled among its roots, was a scroll with the first fragment of the song. Lyra carefully tucked it into her bag and thanked Nutmeg for the help. Next, Lyra traveled to the crystal caves, where the walls sparkled like diamonds and the echoes of footsteps created a mesmerizing harmony. She met a friendly bat named Echo who guided her through the caves. Echo told her that the second part of the song was hidden in the deepest part of the cave and would only be revealed by solving a riddle. "Listen carefully," Echo said, "and answer this. I am taken from a mine, and shut up in a wooden case, from which I am never released, and yet I am used by almost every person. What am I?" Lyra thought hard and answered, "A pencil." Echo led her to a hidden chamber where the second fragment of the song was engraved on a crystal tablet. Lyra took the fragment and thanked Echo for the guidance. Her final destination was the Meadow of Echoes, a field where every sound was mirrored back with a beautiful resonance. In the meadow, she encountered a graceful deer named Harmony, who helped her find the final fragment of the song. Harmony told her that the last piece was hidden beneath the oldest tree in the meadow. To find it, Harmony said, "You must solve this riddle. I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Lyra answered, "A joke." Harmony led her to the old tree, where she found the final scroll with the last fragment of the song. With all 3 fragments in hand, Lyra returned to the melody fountain. Standing before the fountain, Lyra began to piece together the lost song from the fragments. As she sang the notes, the melody fountain responded with a beautiful, powerful magic that flowed through Harmonia. The notes of the song filled the air, and the fountain sparkled with renewed brilliance. The kingdom of Harmonia rejoiced as the magic of the melody fountain was restored, and music once again filled every corner of the land. Lyra's quest became a cherished legend, and she was celebrated for her bravery and determination in restoring the song that brought harmony and joy to all. And so, the kingdom of Harmonia thrived, its music a testament to the power of a pure heart and the magic of a lost song, and Lyra lived happily ever after, her music forever a part of the kingdom's enchanting melody. Once upon a time, in a quaint village surrounded by rolling hills and verdant forests, there stood an ancient lighthouse known as the Lantern of Everglow. The lighthouse was famous for its beacon of light that shone across the land, guiding travelers and sailors safely. But the lantern had not been lit for many years, as the lighthouse keeper, Old Master Cedric, had passed away, and no one knew how to light it. The village thrived on the edge of a sparkling lake, where the people were kind and their lives were peaceful. However, as the years went by without the lighthouse's guiding light, the village grew darker at night, and the once vibrant lake began to lose its charm. The villagers longed for the lighthouse's glow to return. In this village lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was known for her boundless curiosity and her love for the old tales of the village. She had grown up hearing stories about the Lantern of Everglow and its magical light that could bring hope and joy to those who saw it. One day, as Elara walked along the shore of the lake, she found an old, dusty book buried in the sand. The book was bound in faded leather and had a golden emblem of a lantern on its cover. Elara opened the book and discovered that it was filled with notes and diagrams about the lighthouse and its magical light. There were instructions for lighting the lantern and a map to a hidden chamber within the lighthouse. Determined to restore the lantern's light, Elara decided to take on the challenge. She gathered supplies and set off to the lighthouse. As she approached the old, weathered building, she could feel the weight of the years of darkness that had settled over it. But her heart was filled with hope. With the map in hand, Elara entered the lighthouse and climbed the spiral staircase to the top. She found the hidden chamber described in the book and discovered an old, ornate box. Inside the box was a shimmering crystal and a set of mysterious, golden keys. The book explained that the crystal held the essence of light, and the keys were needed to unlock the lantern's mechanism. Elara carefully placed the crystal into the lantern and used the golden keys to unlock its ancient gears. As she did so, the lantern began to hum softly, and a warm, golden light started to emanate from it. The light grew brighter and brighter until it filled the entire lighthouse with a brilliant glow. Elara could hardly believe her eyes as the beacon of the Lantern of Everglow shone out across the lake and the land. The villagers, who had gathered at the lake's edge, saw the light and were filled with joy and wonder. They knew that the lantern's return meant that hope and happiness had been restored to their lives. The lake sparkled with renewed brilliance, and the village seemed to come alive with a newfound energy. The villagers celebrated the return of the lantern's light, and Elara was hailed as a hero. They held a grand festival in her honor, with music, dancing, and feasts that lasted long into the night. Elara, however, remained humble and shared the credit with the village's collective spirit and the tales of old that had inspired her. She continued to explore the stories of the village and shared them with everyone, keeping the magic of the Lantern of Everglow alive in their hearts. From that day on, the Lantern of Everglow shone brightly every night, guiding travelers, lighting up the village, and bringing hope to all who saw its radiant glow. The lighthouse became a symbol of the village's resilience and the power of believing in the magic of old tales. And so, the village flourished under the light of the lantern, and Elara's bravery and curiosity became a cherished part of their story, reminding everyone that even in the darkest times, a single act of courage can bring back the light. The end. Once upon a time, in a peaceful village nestled by the edge of a great forest, there was a humble cottage owned by a kind-hearted young woman named Elara. Elara was known throughout the village for her generosity and her love of stories. Every evening, she would light a special lantern and sit by her window, sharing tales of magic and wonder with the children who gathered to listen. This lantern was no ordinary lantern, it was an antique passed down through generations in Elara's family. It was said to have magical properties, though Elara herself had never witnessed anything extraordinary. Still, the lantern's warm glow and enchanting designs always seemed to captivate the village's children. One starry night, as Elara was preparing to tell a story, the lantern's light began to flicker and shimmer more brightly than ever before. A soft, melodic chime filled the room, and the lantern's glow grew so intense that it seemed to open a portal to the night sky. Elara, astonished, reached out and found herself pulled through the lantern's light into a new world. She landed softly on a meadow bathed in starlight. The air was filled with the gentle hum of crickets, and the night sky above was illuminated with more stars than she had ever seen. As Elara looked around, she saw a sparkling pathway leading through the meadow to a majestic castle made of moonlight and stardust. As she approached the castle, she was greeted by a wise old owl with feathers that gleamed like silver. The owl introduced himself as Orion, the guardian of the starry realm. "Welcome, Elara," Orion hooted softly. "The lantern you carry is an ancient artifact known as the Light of the Night. It has the power to bridge our world with yours. Our realm is in need of your help." Elara, though amazed, was eager to assist. "How can I help?" she asked. Orion explained that the starry realm was suffering from a terrible problem. The constellation that protected their world, the Celestial Guardian, had lost its light. Without it, the magic of the realm was fading, and the night sky was losing its sparkle. To restore the Celestial Guardian's light, Orion said, you must find 3 star crystals hidden throughout our realm. Each crystal holds a fragment of the Guardian's power. Only when they are reunited can the constellation be restored. Elara agreed to take on the quest. Orion handed her a shimmering map that glowed with a soft light, guiding her to the locations of the star crystals. Her first destination was the Glittering Grove, where the first crystal was hidden. The grove was a dazzling forest with trees that sparkled like diamonds. Elara followed the map's directions and found the crystal nestled within a bed of glowing flowers. As she touched the crystal, it resonated with a warm light, signifying that it was ready to be reunited with the others. Next, Elara traveled to the Echoing Caves, where the second crystal awaited. The caves were filled with gentle echoes and shimmering walls. Elara navigated through the twisting tunnels, guided by the map's light. At the heart of the caves, she found the second crystal, protected by a friendly firefly who had been keeping watch over it. With a grateful nod, Elara took the crystal and continued her journey. The final crystal was hidden atop the Starry Peak, a high mountain that reached into the night sky. The climb was steep, but Elara's determination and the map's guiding light helped her reach the peak. There, she found the third crystal, nestled in a serene pool of starlight. As she picked it up, a gentle breeze carried the crystal's light through the air, creating a mesmerizing dance of stars. With all 3 star crystals in hand, Elara returned to the celestial castle. Orion greeted her with a smile of relief. Together, they placed the crystals into the constellation's central point, and a brilliant light burst forth, restoring the Celestial Guardian's brilliance. The night sky shimmered with renewed magic, and the starry realm was filled with joy and celebration. Orion thanked Elara for her bravery and kindness. "You have saved our realm, Elara. As a token of our gratitude, we grant you the gift of the Starry Night Lantern. It will allow you to visit our world whenever you wish." Elara returned to her village with the new lantern, which glowed with a soft, magical light. She continued to share her stories with the village children, now with an even greater sense of wonder and enchantment. The lantern became a cherished symbol of the magic that lay just beyond the ordinary world, reminding everyone of the beauty and mystery that awaited in the night sky. And so, the story of Elara and the Starry Realm became a beloved tale in the village, a testament to the power of courage, kindness, and the magic of the night.